What's up, people? Alpha Mason, what's good? 864 Cowboys fan. You becoming a fan, man. You be arguing with me all the time, but you becoming slowly but surely becoming like an everyday fan, man. I appreciate that. I remember your name too, man. Judas Redemption, you always here. C. Burleson was good. Phil 2 Trill, I like that name. 13, pause. What up? He said, when a Quake goes live, I click. What's up, Judah? He said, that left hook knock a motherfucker out. That's a fact. That's a fact, man. Teach him how to hurt shit. Listen, um, I sat here and I did because the conversation actually got me excited, got me interested because it's been said in theory, but I haven't really sat and looked at. Well, I hadn't before now. Sat and looked at all of the rushes, or a lot of the rushes from Quentin Williams and KC just to see like what the elements were before Quentin Williams got here, as opposed to now, and then try to gain an understanding for like what could Christian Parker have seen if he looked at this film and said like, how am I going to build my pass rush around these two guys? And honestly, when both of those guys are on the field together, it's crazy. But even when they flip flop and one is on the field, it's wrecking ball and then cleanup crew. Man, you'll see it. Like one of those guys is a wrecking ball that's going to either take two or three guys out. If they so happen to get a one-on-one, they beat it every time. But if they get that double team, both Quentin Williams or Kenny Clark, everyone else is supposed to eat. And you can see how it was kind of working last year. It was working. The coverage, though, you'll see in areas where they'll get closer, they'll get a pressure. And that actually, I guess made me a lot more calm about it because you'll see times where they actually got pressures, but people are wide open. So you can see that's easy to get rid of the ball, or the quarterback runs for his life, throw the ball out of bounds. But you can see it though. He said, "Man, we ain't gotta agree on everything." LOL. I used to watch you before y'all all be live at the same time. Oh, when we used to do the roundtables and all that. No, we ain't never gonna agree about probably nothing, man. Like I ain't mad about that. I told you, like I don't care about that. I just be seeing you going off. You know what I mean? What's cracking, Okoye? I see you putting in that work. Yeah, I told y'all, man. I'm not joking. Like I made myself comfortable here. So if I ain't got nothing to do, I'm coming downstairs. If I'm home, if I was home chilling, my daughter upstairs, my fiance upstairs, they chilling. They don't need me right now, so you ain't doing nothing but washing clothes or something. Let me go get some work in. Instead of sitting on the couch chilling. I don't drink like that. You know what I mean? I don't smoke no more, so ain't nothing else to kill my time or distract me except this. He said, "Thanks for shutting Louis up. Love it, my brother." I ain't shut him up. I think he's still around. I just talked to him yesterday. I gotta stop that. Stop trying to keep the beef going because it ain't no beef. Stop trying to make one. There ain't no beef. We had a dust up like men have. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't, ain't no beef. Ain't no beef. And I ain't shut nobody up. But I appreciate you saying kind words. You know what I mean? But anyway, you already know we don't really need to get into a bunch of preambles with this one because y'all kind of know what I came here to do on this one. And we've been having the same conversation all week. I'm not like switching the topic. I'm just going a little deeper with it. I will, however, I'm going to try anyway. I'm going to start trying to put these on Patreon because I do keep getting strikes and I don't want to lose my channel. So I don't know what the answer is because I even when I was trying Patreon, I was about to go live, like this and then send everybody over to Patreon. And I was only going to charge like $1. I ain't trying to beat y'all over the head. But at the same time, I think they blocked these videos on Patreon too. I couldn't upload any of my NFL film on Patreon. So I don't know what to do, man. You know what I mean? So we just going to do it live and do it here. Do your super chat thing if y'all can. And then we rocking and rolling. Hey, Okoye, good afternoon. Appreciate. Let me just read it over here. Hey, Okoye, good afternoon. Appreciate all you do. Your videos and breakdowns are helping me a ton with evaluating players. Blessings and salute. Right back at you, bro. Well, that's what we doing today. We're going to do a lot of evaluating. So the guys we looking at, I think in order, I don't know if it's in order or not, because I'm still, you're going to see like some of the process too. It's like a behind the scenes because I didn't have time to screen grab this entire video because it's like a 23-minute film session. So I didn't have time because I had already hit the live button. And I'm like, if I'd have sat here and recorded that whole screen, I wouldn't have been going live till like 2 o'clock. So I said, nah, I'm going to just do it now. And you guys will just see a little bit of how I do what I do. He said, "What's up with Logan Cowboys?" I don't know. Logan Wilson? I think he gone. He retired. Oh. Oh, I think you're talking to somebody. You said what up, bro? My bad. Look at my dyslexia. Logan Cowboys for life. What's up, man? Great big down on Crown Media. Yo, that was fun, man. Like shout out to Crown Media once again for those of you who just joining up or who weren't, privy to yesterday's videos. Go out to Crown Global Media. Make sure you follow those guys, like and subscribe. But yeah, I enjoyed having them. And now that but I was live. Well, in the moment at that time, I wasn't live, but I was in the moment when we were talking live. I missed some things that I wanted to say. I'm like, damn, I wish I'd have said this or that because there was some points I wanted to hit, but I'm hitting them now in regards to our pass rush and how we're going to deploy it. But that that interview just inspired me to do this one, so that was cool. He said, "Try Zoom." I might try Zoom. That might be a good idea. Maybe Zoom. Yeah, Zoom might be the play, but ain't no paywall on Zoom though. So if I do it on Zoom, how the hell am I gonna get people over there? You know, what I mean? I got to get y'all to get over there too. He said, "Thanks for the content. Content streets is dry. It's the off season, man. You already know how that go. I see you a football player, Chris Johnson. My brother was too. I was too. I can't say I wasn't, but I don't count on me being a football player in high school. It got to be like college and beyond. That's how I look at it. But I was born playing football. Think Von Miller in 2012, if developed properly, I see Ezra reaching that kind of impact. I think Ezra can be pretty damn good. Honestly, I counted same thing I did with Gary, where I counted some of the misses that he had, the near misses. Ezra had too many near misses and too much. He was just. I think he was a little weak. You know what I mean? And that was his issue. He was weak at the NFL level. I think he'll be stronger. As we go forward in the next 2 years, he'll get his grown man strength. But he couldn't get guys off of him when they gripped him up. It was like they were yoking him up. And when he's running after you, I don't know if it's the shoes or what, but he slips a lot. Like, why are you slipping all the time, bro? You can run, but you not getting good grip. You need to change your shoes, buddy. Get a Jordan endorsement or something. But it's crazy. But I like him. He just I think I hear. I think I like him, but he just had a lot of near misses. And if he would have landed on maybe you'll count them. You guys can count them. I didn't count them out, but I'm gonna say like 6 or 7 of them, at least. He had at least 6 or 7 that I counted or more, near misses where he could have got sacks. He should have got sacks. As a matter of fact, he had multiple in one game at times where that should have been a sack. That should have been a sack. You know what I mean? He's missing them. So that I don't have a problem with because that means you know how to get there. I just need you to finish when you get there. But even so, more so now is because most of his work was done, last year with Kenny Clark at first, and then Quentin Williams later on. But with both those guys there, it's going to get even easier for him to get these types of opportunities. So good stuff. I'll be honest because I've been up since 6 o'clock in the morning doing this breakdown. So tired. Not even tired. I'm just waking up. I guess I'm just getting my body up. I guess I've been sitting still in the same position since 6 a.m., but I'm not even tired. I don't know why I said tired. Uh, Easy run defense year one gives a lot of hope considering that that was supposed to be his weak point coming out in the league. How is that supposed to be his weak point? Easy had like 80 tackles at defensive end or outside linebacker. He was a tackling machine in college. So I thought he would be good in run support, and he was, but I think that pass rush, he has a lot of moves though, so that's good. He said we'll have to pay first. Oh, I mean, well, we'll figure that out for Zoom. You could try Riverside, Okoye. What's Riverside? I don't even know what that is. Okoye Media and Lou takes great battle last week. Enjoy your content, brother. Go Cowboys. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to Lou. Salute Okoye, my brother. And let's see what else we got in here. Oh, in conjunction with BT Jordan. Yeah, BT Jordan is a definite addition that I think will not only help Sam Williams, but Ezraku and Gary, they'll all benefit from working with him. I'm actually that's the most exciting piece to it, in my opinion. And others, I guess, are facts. Okay, if we got Grenard for a third, defense might be one player away. Yeah, if we got Grenard, we could look at some Grenard film. Actually, will we? I'm gonna try it this way because if it worked this way and they don't strike my page for doing it this way, I'm gonna do all my breakdowns like this. So I'm not gonna pick Renard film up yet because the way I'm doing this, right? So, but I do want to break down Grenard, but we're gonna do these guys first. Easy going to HV to play outside linebacker in this D, huh? Yeah, he's gonna have to play outside linebacker. Yep, yep. All right, here we go. Let's bring the film up. All right, everybody can see, right? He said, "I love the approach to prioritizing stopping the run. Everything else will fall in place." Yep. That applied knowledge over years of experience are 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 ASAP. ASAP. I don't know what that means. ASAP. Oh, hard as fuck. Okay, got you. Appreciate it. It used to be a friend of mine. Well, he like my brother, but my man Suge, when we was like 13 in high school, he had this jacket on with Goku on the back that said like Okoye, and I was like, "What that mean?" He's like, accumulated knowledge over years of existence, and I said, "Oh, that's dope as shit." And then we both was like on it, and you know what I mean. And then it was like we started like theorizing with it when we went to college, and I was like, "Damn, you ever think about that? The fact that all of us, everybody, is just an accumulation of their experiences, like of their knowledge over their years of experience. So we're all like walking, talking accumulations of experience, and you know we study. So I like to pick people's brain and study that. So that's why I called it Okoye. It was that's not my name. My name's Darius, but everybody thinks Okoye is my name, so they call me that. But accumulated knowledge over the years of experience is what it was, our existence, either or. But then I started having like lulls. You know how you kind of get stagnant, and I got stagnant even doing this. You get stagnant and you're not really like pushing forward. I said that's because you ain't tell your mind to move forward. You still accumulating knowledge. You still in the learning phase. Get out of the learning phase and start applying the knowledge that you've gained. And that's why I changed it to applied. But yeah, good shit, man. I'm 43, so that's been, around for 30 years. 30 years, man. All right, here we go. Instead of weak point, I'm gonna phrase it as it's more so that people expected him to be better at pass rush than run defender. Oh yeah, you got a point with that. Appreciate the super chat, Jamal. He said offensive discussion, but I think Love at 12 will be more impactful to the defense and overall team than anyone else we could realistically get there at 12. Control the clock and control the game. Well, you already can do that though with the running back room that we have. I think we could do that anyway. But Love would be dope. I wouldn't argue with it if they did it. If they went Love and then linebacker at 20, or Love and then if Bain fell to 20 and you had Love and Bain in the first round, I would be okay with that. Then, third round, go get you a middle linebacker. That's cool. So it's not like it's not the craziest idea, but so I see where you're going with that. Appreciate the super chat. It's a dope name. Okoye is Firefax. He said, I'm calling you Okoye. Who is Darius? Yeah, nobody know. They like, who the fuck is Darius? That's Okoye. They think I'm a Nigerian and shit. I ain't even Nigerian. I'm straight hood ninja black. Okoye, what's up from South Texas? Great information on the Cowboys. Cheers. Go Cowboys. Appreciate you, Rolando and Rolando Rodriguez. I like your folks. Jacob Rodriguez, man. I need him. You know what I'm saying? Not your folks. I ain't trying to be culturally insensitive. I was just being funny because he got your last name. All right. But here we go. Because, people will start saying I'm bullying people. And I ain't bothering you, man. I'm only playing. All right, I'm going to the other screen, though. Hold up. I'm not going to see any of y'all comments from here on out for a minute. All right. Here we go. I actually like this. I could stop and start. I could do a lot with this from there. Right. So what you'll see when paired with Kenny Clark or Quentin Williams, everyone got better. And I think this is what Christian Parker was coming in and looking at. Now, when you pause here, you see how easy Kenny Clark won his rep. He won already. It's over. He's already given pressure, and it's over. He won. But I pause it here because these are the things that you'll see consistently with Ezeraku. He'll have good moves, and it's not like he's not beating the guys. He can beat the guys in front of him. It's just that they have their grown man strength and they're used to the NFL and they're kind of savvy. They got the little tricks where they know how to hold without getting in trouble, so on. And Easy doesn't know how to disengage with that. He doesn't know how to be as violent with his hands as he should be. So he'll struggle with guys rather than just rip their hands off. If he has fast hands, but they grip him up and he's yoked up from that. But you can see Kenny Clark is just almost You can't block him 1-on-1. Rest in peace, Marshawn Nealon. But you see, Marshawn only gets this sack because of this, right? So when you look at this, right, Hurts is staring at Kenny Clark. He sees it. Boom. He sees that right now. He tries to escape, but they have him contained because Bland is over there, and now he has to sit there and wait for it. So he's like in the kill zone, right? And boom, now Marshawn Nealon gets that sack. But people were disrespecting Kenny Clark. I don't know how you look at Kenny Clark's film and don't think, hey, he's doing just as good as Quentin Williams was when he was here. They are like interchangeable between the two of them. And I'm not bigging him up or gassing at all. Like they interchangeable. Before Quentin Williams came here, Kenny Clark was already making noise and doing a hell of a job. Even when he wasn't getting sacks, people were like, oh, he's not getting sacks, but he's creating pressure by himself. So everybody else out there, I call the cleanup crew. But he's a wrecking ball. You know what I'm saying? So 1-on-1, he destroys shit, man. And I think that the Cowboys fan base kind of disregards his skill set, but I know Quentin Williams doesn't, because Quentin Williams, that's the first thing he spoke on, was like, I watch a lot of Kenny Clark film, and I think you should. But you can see it just keeps going. So Casey and Quentin Williams, I said, they cook for you. All you got to do is do the dishes. That's why I call those guys the cleanup crew, or wrecking ball in the cleanup crew. But that was a good club there. But now you see Russell Wilson has nowhere to go. And these are the types of sacks that you'll see us getting when these guys actually understand what the scheme is doing for you. There's no reason for Ezraku to be where he is, right? No reason. He didn't even have to engage there, right? He could have stayed outside, but he doesn't know, right? He's young, because Kenny Clark chased him out to you, and you almost got there, but he would have gotten there if you didn't engage the at the angle that you did, right? He would have got there, but those will be sacks moving forward. As you can see, like before he even gets there, let me back up a little bit for you. Let me hide this so it's not in my way. Boom. But before he even gets there, let's watch this from here. See here, he takes a flat angle, right? But if he attacks the outside shoulder of 72 and stays out there, maybe Russell Wilson gets maybe he runs straight up the field. You probably, maybe, but I think that Kenny Clark would have been closing that window out. But he needs to get those hands off of him. Like I said, if he can disengage sooner and kind of anticipate, if he would have anticipated Russell Wilson, rolling out, he would have gotten him. And then there's the other thing. Remember I said he's always off balance? Watch when he gets let go. Like he's always tripping, like always off balance, man. I'm like, you got to get that together. But this happens all day. Kenny Clark, every time he's out there, he's going to flush you out of the A gap. Or if you contain, it becomes a kill zone, and you can't step up in the pocket. So those guys who just take those wide rushes, they'll get there because he does this. That was a different play, right? This is a whole nother play. He does it again. And Ezraku does the same thing again. These are 2 sacks right here that he missed because he just didn't understand what was going on. Because I think if you understand where Kenny Clark is and what he's going to do, you would anticipate that, and you'll flush him out to yourself. But instead of flushing him out, what he did is drive his man right into Kenny, because Kenny would have got him if he just stood still. If he stays there, Kenny gets him, right? But he doesn't. He keeps pushing, right? He's not paying attention to what's going on. He doesn't have the experience over his years of experience of existence yet. But he doesn't understand what's going on. So he cuts off Kenny Clark, where Kenny Clark can't get to the ball, but he also takes a flat angle where he can't get to the ball either. So when he turns here, boom, see, he's just going to fall. So he keeps losing balance too. I don't like the diving. Him, Morris, Leofau, they dive too much. Go get them, run through the target. I would have them running through bags all in training camp. Boom. Like that was a sack if they would have done that correctly. And you got to put some respect on Kenny Clark's name, because like I said, people weren't paying attention to him, but he is a pass rusher, and he was getting a hell of a lot of pressure up the middle. I don't think he was getting credit for the pressures, but this is a pressure, right? He right in your face. Boom. You got to get rid of that ball. But it's a touchdown too, though. See what I'm saying? But that's why I say all pressures aren't created equal, because you can get a pressure and it don't mean a damn thing, right? Easy will finish some of these in 2026, I said. And the reason being, like I said, these are like quick athletic sacks. And he was kind of tentative running there. He was thinking that Caleb might, cut him up. So he was kind of running slow there. But these are all the opportunities that you see from Easy. I think like the first 7 minutes, you see that right here. Boom. But you see the moves. He went too early with that ghost stab right there. But we saw Houston get a sack in the same game doing that same move. So I think Easy will get a lot of those as we move forward. But you can see what happens when you try to block Kenny Clark. You can't block this guy. He's not going to stay blocked if you blocking him one on one. And if you double team him, everybody else gets an opportunity to eat. So I like what Kenny Clark brings to the team. You can see him here. Now, both those guys, Solomon Thomas and Kenny Clark, are doubled. So now, Clowney and Ezzy are one on one. And you can see Ezzy swimming here, right? I think he's going to get held on this one. Easy got held, but um, Clowney got in there and got a pressure. But you see this, boom. And no, he swam on this one, but he had to swim twice. And I didn't want him to swim on his running back. I want him to run through that running back. So that's why I put that there. Just get your pad level low and run straight through that guy. Don't let a running back get into your frame like that because he's going to crack your ribs up. Here, same thing. These athletic sacks are coming to both him and Morris Leofau on the outside when they start, when they start understanding what's going on. They're going to Leofau running in space, smacking somebody. Boom. So here again, he fakes the tackle fakes his punch, right? Because these are the savvy moves that you might not pay attention to because they're happening so fast. But these are the savvy moves some veterans will use on a young guy that he doesn't understand. Because you see Easy going to chop his hand down, right? Well, he gave him that punch, that fake punch, so that he would chop. You see that? And now he's resetting. So there was no chop. So Easy's already into a move thinking that it worked, and it didn't work, right? Because the guy wasn't there to be punched. And then he resets and just grabs. Now he is holding, but Easy can't rip his hands off. Like a lot of your better pass rushers, you see that? A lot of your better pass rushers are strong enough to disengage there. Like Micah Parsons will get you off of him right there. Easy can't do it. But on the flip side, Houston, who I think is still on this team, I was like, oh, we forgot that Houston is a pass rusher. But from outside linebacker, he's a lot better at stopping the run than he is at defensive end. So I think he won't be as much of a liability on the field versus run this year. And he'll be able to get on the field to do a lot more of this stuff because Houston definitely can pass rush very well. He's just not the run stopper. But he's explosive. The ground he had to cover on his sack was that was crazy. I was like, Houston not that bad. I think he's still an 8-sack, 10-sack guy if he's on the field. He just wasn't getting that much time under Eberflus. You know what I mean? But these guys on the outside, like I said, I highlighted both Morris and Easy because one, they both had the pressure here. But two, on the outside, you're not running away from them if you're a quarterback. They coming to get you. So I do like that aspect. But you see in the trend, Ezeraku once again is gripped up. And once they grip him, he pretty much stays gripped. You know what I mean? So I see that trend and I keep, I pay attention to that. But these are athletic sacks that he'll likely get. But like I said, you see the trend with when someone bigger gets their hands on him, he needs to get stronger. And I think he's probably aware of that himself. So this isn't a knock on him, but he needs to get stronger this offseason so that he can deal with what he needs to deal with in order to, play in this league. But I said there, good coverage changes this whole dynamic because he got in there so fast. If the ball is covered, if they're covered, he has to pull his ball down. Can't because there's somewhere to go with the ball immediately, so it's no issue. But if covered, they would have to pull that ball down. That would have been a sack as well. So the coverage will help. There's Easy again. You got to fight those hands, right? Once again. So, like I said, I put that in there because when you're breaking down somebody, you break down the good, the bad, and the ugly. And the good is Easy. He's explosive. He's fast. He's twitchy. He is strong for his size and age, but he needs to get stronger. He has a plethora of pass rush moves, but the things I don't like is, one, he doesn't hand fight once somebody gets their body, their hands on him and get into his frame. And then two, he sells out too soon. He does this a lot. Like he dives. And once you dive, you're out of the play. And he does that a lot and misses a lot in the film. So these are all sacks that he missed that he should have had. If he would have just stayed on his feet, he would have either forced a incompletion or interception, or he would have got himself a sack. Here again, if you're playing off, they have Wanye Thomas on the other side of the field playing off, right? And this is a touchdown. The difference between touchdowns, completions, and sacks is where your coverage is when you blitz and where you blitz from. You blitz those guys, they didn't have a chance to get there, and you have Wanye out in space. Even if you're gonna have Wanye guarding him, you have him down at the line of scrimmage doing it. Yeah, Wanye out in space trying to disguise the blitz, guarding that guy, guarding number 5, and they gave up a touchdown because of it. Boom. Once again, let me go back because I was talking about something else on that play. Here we go. Now, when Kenny Clark and Quentin Williams aren't on the field, look at the amount of the lack of pass rush you have. There's not really much going on there. Easy gets in here and look again. Look at this. Boom. See, I put that pancake in there because, like I said, you need to get in the weight room, brother. You got to get a little stronger. But I'm not trying to clown them because this is typical with young defensive ends. They're not usually, or young NFL players, period. They're not used to the strength and the speed of the NFL yet. When he gets that, he'll be better. But here, the impact, like he's finesse there, tries to go around, and then that running back picks you up. If a running back picks you up as a defensive end, you better blow his ass up. You know what I mean? That's the way. That's why I put that in there. Although Krosky, I think his name is pretty damn good when it comes to uh, his power. But look at the hands there. Like Easy has pretty damn good hands. But again, good pressure, but still a completion. This is a ghost rush, like where he's gonna like act like he's gonna stab, boom, that fake punch. It's called a ghost punch, but then he triggers his hand. So this was good from Easy. He triggers the tackle's hands and then he dips under it. That was decent. That was decent. And then almost got there. But again, when you got that much space underneath, you're not gonna get the sack. The difference between getting these sacks and not getting them is this right here. Where you're covering from. Look at where they're. Oh, you can't see the coverage on this play, but if that number one runs a route, he doesn't have to work himself open. He's open as soon as the ball snaps. So Nix doesn't have to figure out where he's going with his ball. He's actually staring the guy down. He doesn't go through a progression or anything. And by the time Easy gets there, which is like right on time, it's like bang bang. So that's the biggest issue. Hold on one second. I'm going to jump back in just to make sure nothing's wrong. So because I can't see anything that you guys are saying. Let me make sure. He said you're making me feel more optimistic about his defense things. Oh man, appreciate that. Let's see what we got going on. Boom, boom, boom. Swipe. Judas Redemption Rip. He said we got to talk about Jordan Brooks. Oh yeah, we'll talk about that. He said I agree with Koye. We'll talk about that at the end. Just make sure you remember. He said Clark is a dog. He damn sure is. He said people hate because they don't watch film. Yeah. What's up, Jerm? People forget D-Law was like 250. He wasn't that big when he came in the league. D-Law was like 250 when he came in the league. He put on muscle now. He built himself up to 260, 270. But he was like 250 when he first came in the league. I remember that. We have our secondary. If we have our secondary last year, we'd be tough to beat. Yeah, if we had a secondary last year, it'd be crazy. Geometry played a part there. Yeah, the angle. We need more chat interactions. Oh, that's what's up. I appreciate you doing that one. They probably not talking in the chat because they know I'm not reading the chat right now, but that's why I'm stopping to do this. Open as soon as the ball is snapped. It's crazy. Yeah, it is. Easy don't look bad. He's trying not to. He's trying and not loafing. Oh no, he don't look bad at all. Y'all crazy if he look bad. He don't look bad. These is like these are just. I do the good, the bad, the ugly, so that it's honest. If I just put his highlights up here and say, "Oh, he's a great pass rusher," somebody else will say, "Well, I found these 10 plays that he looked ass in, and then I found these things that he need to work on." So the good is he has moves. He's fast. He's explosive. He hustles. That's great. You know what I mean? He's mean. Great. Great run stopper. Great. The bad is he doesn't hand fight once engaged. He needs to get stronger so he can rip those guys' hands off of him. And the ugly is probably IQ, but I think that's going to happen with experience. The ugly is he would have got more sacks if he just understood what was happening next to him. Eberflus kept putting him next to Kenny Clark. When you're next to Kenny Clark is going to get the double team. You're going to be singled up, right? Use those legs that you have. Stop running straight to contact, right? Use those legs and go in and out. You use lateral movement to try to set up some of your moves. He runs straight at the guy, straight at the center line, and then tries to move from there instead of setting it up with his feet. You can even see Kenny Clark sets up his moves with his feet. Like I think, matter of fact, let me see if you can see the snap. So see where Kenny Clark is. Let's say boom. No, he just goes straight at him on that one. That's not even Kenny Clark. That's Solomon Thomas. But once again, you get yoked up on that one, right? So again, he's going to work on that, I'm sure. But that's the only issue with him. I don't think that he has problems as many as people think, or the stats would say. I just think that he just needs to work on his strength. And there go Houston right there, again, getting that pressure. And again, these would be sacks if guys weren't just running free. Look at this. Look how this is pitch, right? Kenny Clark's in front of him, right? Boom. The A gap, he has nowhere to step up. And he's in a kill zone right now, right? Between Sam Williams and or is that Clowney? No, that's Osa and Houston just collided on this guy, but boom, ball wide open already. You know what I mean? So this is the presence that he has without Quentin Williams. Quentin Williams wasn't even here yet. So this is why I said put some respect on Kenny Clark's name, is because his presence, the fact that he requires a double team, forced Arizona to bring 6 linemen on the field to deal with him, right? So, this is because he's constantly wreaking havoc. So the reason he's affecting the pass game is because you got one less receiver to run a route, because they have to allocate a lineman just to be able to block these 4 guys because of what he's doing, right? So Kenny Clark was already beasting throughout the season. It's just that, if you could force a team to change their personnel while you're in nickel, big nickel though, but you're in nickel, you force them to change their personnel because you're on the field. You know what I'm saying? And it's probably because they want to try to run the ball sometimes too out of this. But they play action in here. You know what I mean? Kenny Clark's double team, Osa's double team. Ezraku's one-on-one. He got to disengage quicker. But you saw that Clowney got that sack because of what those guys were doing up front. Like you had both Osa and Kenny Clark double team, which created one-on-ones on the outside for both Ezraku and Clowney, and they both got there. So this is why I say the A gap pressures is most important. Boom. So this time it's a stunt. Ezraku jumps into the B or the A, right, and knocks that running back. And now you can see Kenny Clark on the outside. Boom. Him and Clowney meet at the quarterback because he can't step up. So he wants to step up because he can see Clowney. If Ezraku and Kenny Clark does not create, if they don't create chaos here, he's just gonna stand back there, step up, and still get rid of the ball. But he can't step up because he sees him. Boom. As soon as he tries to step up, he gets killed. So that's definitely going to be the blueprint. And I'm pretty sure now we see the game with Quentin Williams came, but I'm pretty sure CP sees this because this could be the only reason that he's not like scared that we don't have a pass rusher, a seasoned veteran pass rusher here. Neither one of those guys, when they both came at the same time, when they both got here, you know what I mean? At the same time, they can't be blocked one-on-one. They can't be blocked one-on-one at all. Boom. Look at this. So the fact that both of them on the field, you could choose who you double, but the other one's going to eat. If you don't double either one of them, everybody on the line is going to win because they all have one-on-ones. They all have one-on-one. So if you one-on-one everybody, like they did there, everybody pretty much won except Ezraku. But you can see him. He's complaining because he knows, and that's the other thing about the league, man, against the Cowboys. Everybody's allowed to hold the Cowboys. Look across the line right now. Look at 70 holding Wilson, and look at this guy holding Ezraku. They are holding. They're not blocking. They just straight holding. But nobody says anything. I think you hold on every play though to a degree. But you can see when one gets the double, the other one kills. And this is the way it's supposed to be. If I get double teamed, you got to win, right? And that's the way Kenny Clark and Quentin Williams work off of each other. Kenny Clark got the double team. Quentin won immediately. It didn't take no time. He won. And you can't step up in the pocket. So when I say those guys are cleanup crew, you don't need great pass rushers on the outside in this case. You know why? If you had Micah Parsons here or you had a guy that's just flying upfield, right, trying to get there before Kenny Clark and Quentin Williams, it's going to break the integrity of this defense because that if he misses, that quarterback now has a place to run. Whereas if they just go upfield and contain the way they're doing right now, you create a kill zone where that quarterback tries to escape out of there. Now he's running to you instead of running by you. You know what I'm saying? It's a difference. So I don't think that they want highly aggressive guys that are just speed rushers off the edge. I think they want guys that can be controlled in their rush lanes, right? Boom, in their pass rush lane. Look at this. So you see the double team there. Now Osa is winning. Why? Because someone's double team. I think that's Kenny Clark. Yeah, double team. All single everywhere else, right? And you have to win if I'm double team. But what do? They win and they don't finish. You know what I'm saying? So these guys just have to finish better, but I can see the writing on the wall. Kenny Clark, once again, watch this, boom. He's now going to beat the double team with a club. Like, do you see this shit? Like, this is not easy to do. So watch the feet first. Remember I said Ezraku needs to set up his pass rush moves with his feet? Kenny Clark is in 4-eye, right? So he's going to jump inside first. His first step is in, boom. So that gets so if 70 was trying to block him, 70 can't because he has to down block. So 70 would have to reach block him and come back, and it would destroy the integrity of this play. So 66 and 67, I think, are trying to block him now, right? And this, but he 66 not even really trying to block him for real, for real. No, 67 and 61 is trying to block him. Should I say? I didn't look at that. Let me see. Boom. Yep, boom. Those two are trying to block him. 67 and 61. He smacks the shit out of them. So he beat three guys on this. He went past three guys on this play. He jumps inside. Boom. He covers a lot of ground. Boom. Jumps inside. He jump sets. Cool. Boom. Gets on a 67, knocks him back and slaps the shit out of 61. You know how hard that is? Boom. Ain't no joke. Ain't no joke, man. He a beast. Same concept, even against the Eagles offensive line. They're going to double Casey. Boom. And you see Quentin Williams wins immediately. Whooped his ass. No problem. Only difference is I think they actually complete this pass. But still, on the film, I'm looking at how they're winning and what they're doing to set certain things up. The coverage on the back end is trash. Here, they beat those three guys together. Boom. They just stunt. They do just like an X stunt. And they beat those guys together. Incompletion. But you see the concept. There's a wide set here. There's a third down. Boom. If he didn't get hit in the back by Houston right there, he probably gets a sack on this one. But he lost his balance because of Houston. But he still gets to Hurts' legs, and Hurts throws the ball in the air, and I think they complete this one as well. See what I'm saying? But the pressures are there. So the coverage isn't there, but the pressures were there. And these are sack opportunities. If you could just force the quarterback to hold the ball just a little bit longer, these are sacks, not pressures. Right? That was a screen pass that he just blew up because he just got upfield too fast. Like he's like, man, it hurts. Like I don't even want the ball. He's like, I don't even want this joint, huh? He threw, and they didn't even give him. I don't think they gave him intentional grounding because Saquon's right there. But he beat 56 so fast that he fell into Saquon and blew this play up. So that was kind of funny. But I was like, dang, he got rid of that ball fast as hell. It would have been an interception, honestly, if Shamar James would have been there a little sooner. That would have been an interception. Same here. He's going to create chaos, and nobody pays attention. But as he got both of his sacks because of these guys. So the A-gap pressure right there by 95 right there, he's trying to step up right now. So Jaden wants to step up, but he can't because Kenny Clark right there in his face. He can't step up. So he's trying to step up, but there's nowhere to go because there's chaos everywhere. Kenny Clark comes in there and steps into that gap, and now as a Rock who gets to come clean this up. See that? Boom. That's why he gets that sack. And that's why I say they're going to get sacks like this. Both Ezra Raku, Sam Williams, Leah File, and Gary. They'll get those types of sacks all day because they were getting opportunities for them all day in this film. So I just need them to all finish a little bit better. And I think that's what coaching will say. Here, you see this, boom. A-gap pressure from Osa and Kenny Clark right here. So there's nowhere to step up because Kenny Clark's right there in his face. That's a kill zone. So now you got Sam Williams and Ezaraku bearing down on you and Kenny Clark right there in your face. You can't step up in his pocket. You can't. So that's why Ezzy got that sack. Can't step up in the pocket. And then these free runs, if you're in the 3-4, you'll see Morris Leofile either on a running back or on a tight end. And you'll see Ezaraku from time to time or Sam Williams, depending on what side they're going to, on a tight end or running back as well. So Easy will start catching on to these and getting a couple of these sacks. Like these are all sacks. If he doesn't go down the line right there, or if he understood what was going on, he would have got this sack too. He would have broke down. But like I said, if he would have broke down right there, he'd have got this sack too. So when I look at that, I said, okay, he had 2 sacks officially, but I counted like 8 to 12 he could have had. So he just needs to finish. If he finishes half of those, you would have had a 6-sack first season. We wouldn't be saying he can't pass rush. If he had an 8-sack first season, you would have said, damn, that's pretty damn good, right? But he was missing on those. And then a lot of people ask me, like, yo, what do you think about Sam Williams? I was asked this on Crown Global, and I thought the same thing. I said, he won, and I didn't even know he was doing this type of stuff. But one, I looked at it like it was a red shirt because of his knee. But 2, Sam Williams, for him, I think this is why he's here. I think CP looked at the film and said, this guy's coming off of an ACL tear, his second ACL, and he's the fastest to the ball in a lot of his film when it comes to, like, he'll pass rush. And one of my favorite plays I'm going to show you in a second, but he'll pass rush and then still run 40 yards up the field and make a tackle quicker than the guys that's around the guy. So who's really loafing? You know what I'm saying? Those guys are loafing if Sam Williams is making these types of tackles. See, look, he got blocked. He didn't get there, right? But then look at how many people are in pursuit. And look who just sprints through the screen to make this tackle. You know what I'm saying? On bad knees. That's wild. Coaches love hustlers, man. And this is one of my favorite plays. Look, beat that tight end, boom, hit the quarterback, boom. So got the pressure, right? Boom, go get the ball, boom. That was crazy to me. And that, people don't give Sam Williams a lot of respect. I know they're going to say, "Oh, that's not a pass rusher, Koye." But this is the type. When I look at players, I don't look at just their productivity. I look at their temperament and the way they play, the way they think, and I say, can I build around that, or can I do something with a guy with this type of hustle? Yes, I love this type of hustle. I can do something with a guy that's willing to play, like his hair is on fire like this. Like he loves football. You can tell he playing outside. That's how I used to be when I'm running around. I just want to hit something. You know what I mean? So I love that from him. And but what I love at the end of this even more though is how evil Kenny Clark is. Watch Kenny. Kenny Clark evil as hell, man. He hustling too. Watch Kenny Clark. Kenny Clark hustling right with him. Like that. Kenny Clark at the bottom of the screen. Watch it. Boom. Bang. Nice hit. Smack. Don't nobody want to see him coming, man. That was crazy. But I like what Sam Williams did on that play. Here we go again. This time they're singled up, both Kenny Clark and Quinnen Williams. Watch what happens. Quinnen Williams won. They're trying to run a little twist stunt right there in the middle. But you see outside, Reddy Stewart and I believe Osa are containing, even though Osa getting choked up. But as Araku, like I said, if he was understanding what was going on, like if he understood, like he doesn't know that the quarterback's trying to escape. He's just trying to run his stunt. But if he'd have understood what was going on a little sooner, he makes these types of plays. And like I said, these guys have to finish. If Sam Williams catches that, that's a pick six right there. You got to finish. The difference between good and great, or average and good, is your ability to finish, your ability to be disruptive and to finish. That's all they have to learn to do. And I think they're going to do that with reps, because I think Sam Williams was just out there a little jittery. You can see he was doing too much to try to make plays, the things that he didn't even have to do. So I think that was more so him trying to get acclimated to being back and he was just thirsty to make plays. But even these plays, like you'll break his angle, you break his rush angle, and he's still able to turn and run with the quarterback pretty fast. He had that 4.4 speed. He probably got 4.5 now on them knees, but he was still able to turn and run with the quarterback like nothing, right? So I like that. Same here. As Araku, boom, disengage sooner. This is a touchdown, I believe. But disengage sooner. Like this, and that's what's going to happen when he gets, his strength up. But you can see this is only a 3-man rush. But as Araku, they all occupy 5 guys, right? But as Araku got the single coverage, or a single one-on-one block. You got to finish this. You gotta win here. And he waited too long. He was thinking, and they gave up a touchdown. Sam Williams, same thing. I think he got scared because Rico went at them knees, and instead of laying out, which he could have done on this play, he jukes him, just to protect those knees, and that causes again a touchdown. Boom. Those are plays that should be sacks that I'm not too mad at, but I look at like, okay, like right there, he jumps the B gap. There was nobody on contain at the time because they were gap exchanging. And Morris, same thing. Don't leave your feet. If Morris runs through this contact, he gets himself a sack here too. He didn't need to leave his feet. He would have just forced him out of bounds. Stop diving. Azaraku has to stop this shit, and so does Morris Learfowl. I think Sam Williams, only thing I think I need to see from him is, being quicker with his hands. He has heavy hands, but he needs to be quicker with his hands because he's strong enough to get you off of him, but he's too slow to do it. And I think he needs to be far more intentional. So I think that's something that Brandon T. Jordan can definitely work with Sam Williams on. The other two, though, Morris Learfowl uses his hands very well. It's him diving. He dives too much. And Azaraku uses his hands well, but he's not strong enough. Morris is hella strong. He don't got no problems with that. He just dives too much. You know what I'm saying? So I think there's things to be worked on with these guys up front. But as you can see, I can see what the writings on the wall are. Sam Williams right here, he does his little hump move, right? And this is why I say they allow you to hold, because in every game I saw this. That hump move was good. Like he set him up real nice, right? Real good. Let's see this. Watch this. Boom. Boom. Hump. Gone. Right? He just tossed him. But you can see holding on because you see that guard is all he on one foot. He would have been gone. He would have threw him, but he held on, and they don't call none of that. But those holds outside the shoulders and on his back is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Same thing goes. Hold on one second, folks. I got a client that's calling me. Rob, what's up? What's going on? Is it Is it getting worse? Uh huh. I'm gonna send Dave over there to look at it. But whatever y'all doing when y'all go up there in the bathroom, I don't know what y'all doing, but y'all causing a lot of damage, man. And that's crazy. Every day there's new damage. Like y'all gotta walk lighter, do something different because that's costing me. So you gotta really relax. I don't. That's the third time in like less than 3 weeks that something is wrong. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, go ahead. I can't talk for long, but what's going on, Rob? Go ahead. Hmm. Under the hallway. So it must be a pipe that's running from the bathroom then if it's under the hallway. But I'll have Dave come take a look at it. If not today, if it gets worse, he'll come today. If not, it'll be tomorrow. All right. Right. Yeah, you can't be doing that. But I got you. I got you. I'll handle that when I get there. All right. I'm not coming today. I'll be there tomorrow. I'm working right now. Rob, I gotta go, Rob. Gotta go, man. Thank you, man. See you. Sorry about that, y'all. All right. Freak athlete, right? Okay, let's see. Freak athlete. And I say this because watch this angle. This is why I say the same thing with Ezra Raku. Can I do something with somebody who can do this? Boom. He comes down the line on the running back. Boom, and then changes angles like that. That sharp puts his foot in the ground and still able to get back outside to the quarterback who's not slow. Knicks ain't slow, so to be able to do that and force the incompletion, I thought that was a hell of an athletic play. I like that out of Ezra Raku. Very good play. Let's see. Kenny Clark here. Boom. These are the things I'm talking about. Wrecking Ball and everybody else is singled up. They're the cleanup crew. So he's causing the double team, and then everybody else just met at the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Boom. Everybody free because of that. But look at this. This would have, if the coverage was better, this would be a sack because Morris is free. But and also, this is something I didn't like about um Eberflus either. Look at where Morris is blitzing from. 5 yards off the ball. We don't need them blitz from there. If you're gonna play off coverage, your blitz need to be closer, right? Because you need to get there faster, right? Why would I have you 5 to 7 yards off the ball trying to disguise something when I'm going to be playing soft ass coverage anyway? Like right behind Shamar James, who can't cover worth a damn or open his hips at all. Right behind Shamar James is a wide open tight end because I don't even know what they're doing. And if you know your guys up front are blitzing, you should be trying to be disruptive, a little more disruptive to those routes in your reroutes. Look how soft this reroute is by Shamar James at the top. He doesn't even reroute, actually. He just lets the tight end run free. Everybody did. They just let everybody run free. Boom. If you don't cover, I don't care how good your pass rush is, they ain't gonna get there. Here, same concept. The wrecking ball creates no space to step up in the A gap right here. Boom. I think that's Kenny Clark again. And then you see Reddy Stewart gets a sack because of that, because there's nowhere to go, right? So that's their job. So those guys on the outside don't have to be great. We don't need Micah Parsons here to get sacks. We need these guys to do what they're doing. And this is not a fluke because like you can see they're doing it all day. Even Osa right here is going to get his because of what? Boom. Osa gets there because Kenny Clark, he got face mask. This is what I mean by Ezra Rocco having to be more violent. He got face mask on this. Quentin Williams, I mean. He got face mask right there. He ripped straight through that and stripped through another guy. Boom. Osa only had a one-on-one. How do you get face masked? Watch this. Face mask and double team and get there just as fast as Osa with a one-on-one. That's how good he is. Watch this. And you think that I'm worried about pass rush with these two guys out here? I'm not. I think you can get one in the draft and you can add to that room. But with Houston, Sam Williams, Leah Fowle, Ezra Raku, and Gary, I don't hate that room. That's a good room, not a great room. But it's not like you have a trash room. You don't have a savant at pass rush. I would say the only one that's good, two that are good pass rushers are Ezraku and Houston. They have great hands. Sam Williams is more like Gary. He can pass rush, but he's more of a hustler than a pass rusher. But watch this, boom, club, get out of here. He got there the same time as Osa, which was crazy. I was like, how the hell he do that? Same thing. Watch this. Create the double team. Boom. Oh, he's single. One on one right now. That was just a wide step. Boom. A grab pressure, got himself a sack. You cannot block these guys one on one. Sam Williams with the long arm. Now, like I said, I need him to counter. I like the rush though. He rushed pretty well. Osa got pancake, but Sam Williams, that rush was pretty good. Here, one on one, I don't know why they chose not to double team him here because they were trying to stun, I guess. But this is one on one. He was really just being the wedge guy for the stunt and just kept going and swam through it. Got himself a sack here, and you can see Houston had 1-2. So both those guys, boom, met at the quarterback. So this is what I'm saying. You got the guy that's going to create the A-gap pressure, and you got those guys on the outside. All they have to do is rush wide and wait for the quarterback to step back because they can't step up. So they can take wide angles like this to the ball all day, which you usually can't do if you're just a pass rushing team, because things like that'll happen when they don't, collapse the A-gap, like right here. It don't collapse at this time, right? And that's because it's Osa and Kenny Clark and not Quinnen Williams and Kenny Clark. And I think they held Kenny Clark. Kenny Clark goes inside here, boom, because he's thinking he's going to run up the A-gap right there. So he goes inside. There's still some A-gap pressure, but he has a lane in the B-gap to run through, and Clowney tackles him, boom. But that should have been a sack. Let me see what Sam Williams was doing in that play. What you doing, Sam? Sam can't bend. He can bend, but he can't like explode. Like this is an okay bend, but he can't explode right here. Like he wants to break down. And watch this. When it's time to break down, you see him kind of favoring. He favors his knee and doesn't really break down. But that's because, that was his first year back. I wasn't mad at that. This is a good stunt by Sam. You see Kenny Clark again, double team. Sam Williams gets in there, and Osa gets a sack because of that. You know what I'm saying? So when you get that A-gap pressure, somebody's going to spill out. So A-gap pressure by Sam here, boom. He slides, gets sacked. Well, not even sacked, he gets pressure. Here, get A-gap pressure right here from Kenny Clark, who won. And Kenny Clark winning also forces his man to step on Osa's guy. So he's stepping on Osa's guy's foot. So Osa's going to get open here or get free here because of what Kenny Clark's doing. The chaos that he's causing creates shit for everybody. So everybody was saying Osa was doing well. Osa was not playing that well. Even the sacks that he got were because of things like this. Like that was Kenny Clark. Osa just cleaned it up. But what was that? Oh, that check mark made noise. Oh, these all make noise. I didn't know they made noise. I'm like, so what's that in my ear? The exclamation sign makes noise instead of the check mark. I'm like, what the hell is that? All right, here we go. Same concept. Boom. Single. You single them up, they winning. But look how this is pitch and catch. Look how easy that is. He said, boop, boop. These are sacks if you're covering. If you're covering, those are sacks. Sack. Look at this. Boom. These are sacks if you cover. Either Sam William or Quinnen would have got that. But now as a rocker, watch this. Bet you he dive. Oh, he ain't dive this time. I bet you he dive though. That's all he do. Same thing. Now they not on the field. Now Kenny Clark and Quinnen are not on the field. It's Solomon Thomas and Osa. Now watch this. Can he step up? Yep. Now he can run around. See that? Because there is no A-gap pressure. And they'll give Osa a pressure for this, but it's not an effective pressure. And I don't mean it's not effective because it's not, the ball was completed or because it's not a sack. I'm not saying that. I'm saying it's not or because he didn't win. I'm saying it's not effective because you want the pressure. You want the pressure right there in the A gap. I guess they're stunting, and it must be stunting. They were stunting, but it was a slow developing stunt. But even with what you see, if there's any A gap pressure here, I think Sam Williams gets himself a sack or a strip here because that was a pretty good rush. He was wide a little bit, gets his hand on him, but there's no pressure in the middle. So Hurts can step up and try to find the angle, and he does. He finds the angle and gets rid of the ball. But good pressure there. But I thought that if Kenny Clark or Quinnen Williams was on the field right there, it would have been a different ball game. It would have been a different scenario right there. Boom. Quinnen Williams there. He's just being the wedge guy for that stunt. You can see the same thing saying, this is why Sam is here. This is what I said. He hustles, man. And he does it multiple times. It's not one time. Sam is a hustler. Bang. He don't give up on no play even when he lost. That was a good forced fumble on Saquon Barkley. Sam Williams, appreciate you. Right there. Look at this. These are sack fumbles. Look how wide open this guy is, man. Smitty is. Look at this. These are sack fumbles. You know what I mean? This would have been a whole different game. Look at that. Smack. We did win this game, though, but still, it would have been a different game right there. Good play by Sam. But look at this. This would have been a sack. That would have been a sack. Bang. Wide open. What is that coverage? I don't even know what the hell. How are three of y'all there and none of y'all see this guy? Boom. He takes 52 right to Holmes. Right to him. They was beast in the interior. They really was. Sam Williams gonna run straight through 64 on this one. Boom. They was beasting, but you gotta finish, Sam. Gotta finish. These types of plays are the reason everybody's kind of like on his ass because they're not watching these to see how close he was to however many sacks. But Sam should have had like 7 to 10 sacks too. You know what I mean? I say 7 would be more realistic though. But again, look how quick they win. Like those A-gap pressures, there's nowhere to go. You ain't going nowhere, but they completing the ball. Why? Because you're playing 15 yards off the ball. Same thing here. Boom. He gonna collapse all of that. Him and Sam gonna collapse all of that over there. Boom. Kill him. Justin Jefferson is open as hell. He just couldn't deliver. He couldn't catch the ball, but open as hell. Sam Williams right there. Boom. Takes his man right to the quarterback. Shit's wide open. Wide open. You know what I'm saying? So tight coverage will change everything. I think that the Cowboys are not as they're not in as much trouble as you would say. Look at this play. Here's more hustle from Sam. He just pass rushed on the opposite side of the field. This is the type of hustle I'm talking about when I say guys got to hustle. That's hustle right there. When I see Sweat and the rest of those guys not doing those types of things, I can't co-sign you unless I see you hustling like that. That's the standard that I have based off of what I've been watching from like guys like Sam Williams. But you guys get my point when I say we can generate some level of pass rush. You know, it just has to be done from the inside out, from the A gap on. Right. I'll give you guys a couple of shout outs and then I can get into Gary film. And I don't even have to get in Gary film. You guys saw Gary's film before with me. But the difference is Gary's rushes were good. He didn't have anybody. Matter of fact, I gotta show you now. Hold on. I gotta show you guys real quick. Because he didn't have anybody in the A gap in his last year over there with Green Bay. There was nobody forcing the quarterback to stay where he was, to stay back, right? He could step up whenever they wanted to. Let me see if I got some Gary film. Um, I'll just put a quick one in, not a long one. This will be like a 1-minute video. Why my dog's going crazy like that? He stayed barking. My dog don't never shut up, man. I'm about to go pop him, man. He crazy. I'm like, don't hit the dog. I don't hit my dog. Because he would bite me. That motherfucker's big. Okay. So you can see, let me make sure y'all can see this actually. Yeah, y'all can see it. All right, cool. But look at the A gap here. Now Wyatt, I think Wyatt is gonna be good. You know, they're gonna have, you know, those guys are gonna get better over there in Green Bay in the interior after Kenny Clark leaves. But look at that. Right there, he still makes it there though. Gary gets there and forces an interception here. But look at the A gap. Look at the A gap. They don't got Quentin Williams and Kenny Clark there. They don't got that. You know what I'm saying? They don't got that. So if those guys is winning the way they win now with Gary on the edge, I think they'll be okay. I think they'll be okay. Same thing here, same concept. They don't have the pressure up the middle. That was good A gap. Well, yeah, that was pretty good A gap pressure, I would say. You know, you see how it went. But that's same thing, cleanup crew. You know what I mean? This is more of what we're looking for right there. That's what we're looking to be. A team that forces you up in the pocket or force you up in the pocket into the A gap, into the teeth, or you stay back there pretty and you get smacked up. No A gap pressure here. This is a stunt, but they didn't get any A gap pressure. They had to stunt to get it. And Gary was, he was almost there. But I think Gary, with BT Jordan and this new scheme, I think he's gonna finally get to his 10 sack status. He's been 9.5 twice, but he's gonna get 10. I think that's my guess this year. Now let's look at the line once again on this play. This is in the playoffs against Chicago. Let's see what's happening in the A gap. 94, I think that's Wyatt, and 91. Watch this. Boom. No pressure. No pressure up there. No pressure. You see that? 9 A gap. Gary Gary jumps into the B gap and gets pressure at the very end. But had they got upfield or forced their man into the quarterback's lap, it's a different ball game. Let's see here. Same thing. They have to stunt to get pressure in the A gap, but he's still having an impact. But that again, I don't know if that ball would even gotten a chance to get off had he had some pressure in his face. But that still should have been caught. But I don't think Gary's great. I think he's good, and I like him teamed up with Kenny Clark and Quentin Williams. As long as he's with those guys, I think he'll be fine. Like again, no A. Do you see any A gap pressure here? None. But you see him winning. Now he's winning, but there's no A gap pressure. So if there's no pressure in the guy's face, you're not gonna. The quarterback's not. You're not gonna sack the quarterback. He's gonna run. He got up out of there though, so that's why that's cut off. Caleb Williams got up out of there. Ready Red. He said, I lost my account. How you lose your account? I ain't seen you in a minute either on here. Sam Williams very quick. He had a great 40 time for his size, and he's strong. I think he lacks focus. He might lack focus, but he a hustler, and he run a 4.4. You know what I'm saying? At 6'4", 270. That's wow. You could do something with that, especially if that knee healthy now. You could do something with that. Let's see where we at with it. I'm gonna go up here and talk to y'all real quick, and then we'll go from there. He said Sam Williams need to work on his pass rush move. Yeah, he damn sure do. Hold on, y'all was going to town. Hold on, how many of y'all in? Let me see where my likes is at. Where my likes at, man? Let me see, cause y'all be doing me dirty sometimes, man. Views is good, but let me see. Oh no. Oh no, you good. I was about to say I thought they had 400 people on here with 100 likes. I was like, that's a problem. But it's 175 on here. Make sure the other 75 that haven't, make sure y'all hit that like button, man. Yeah, hit the like button. All right, here we go. Let's see. We'll try to get through y'all. Okay, I was here. You're making me feel more optimistic. I remember that one. He said it took D Law 3 to 4 years to pop. Yeah. He said Quentin Williams is trying to coach Ezraku early. He'll get there. That's true. I've been waiting for a nice defensive end film. He was a rookie, but a little more work this offseason. He can make the jump, and he good against the run. That's a fact. Intelligent savage. I like that. I'm one of the same. One of the same. But I like the name, man. He said salute to Koei Media in the chat. What's up with you, bro? Quentin Williams trying to, yeah, I saw that. He said, "Oh my God, that push, man." Yeah, you see the push up the middle, man. And then when you add Ogbo to that room, Ogbo might not be there in passing situations unless they pass it on first downs. But Ogbo's another guy that if you put one guy on him, that guy gonna be flying somewhere. Ogbo's strong as hell for no reason, and he one of those dudes that hurt everybody, his own team, himself, his opponent, because he just freakishly strong for no reason. Like Ogbo will hurt you. Like he's just a strong ass dude. Yeah, you guys are talking about it. Quentin Williams, Casey, and Otito on the field at the same time. This is going to be a huge problem for teams' run game. Yeah, they ain't gonna be able to run. We get Brooks, and our defense will be top half of the league. That's a fact. I think Brooks or Aziz. I like them both, but I haven't watched Brooks' game. I'm about to break it down. I gotta cut the film up. I don't want to sound too positive, but this team is being built the right way. That's a fact. What to do with Koye? What's up, Reezy? He said, peace to the family in the room. That's facts. What's up, Reezy? Good. Yep, Micah was being helped almost every rush when he was in Dallas. Hmm. Quentin Williams is pretty good pass rush, but it's the secondary. That's crazy. Yeah, the pass. If the secondary, if you just play press coverage with two high safety and just said, look, I'm not even gonna call no other plays. We're just gonna play two man under press coverage with two high safeties and let those guys get there. And if you guys get beat, we got safeties behind you, but press everybody. If they do trips, okay, that's different. But press everybody unless they're trips right, trips left, or whatever, or they run a bunch set, tight bunch set, or tight wing, whatever. So that way you don't want to come down and press in those sets because you'll get rubbed out of there, or you'll get confused because sometimes you have an outside release, sometimes you have an upfield release. So the outside guy will have an outside release, the inside guy will have an inside release, and then the upfield guy will have the upfield release. But if you guys come down there, if all of you can't come down there, one of you can. But if you guys come down there, you'll get tripped up and they'll rub you out of there. So I get it when it's trips. And if you don't know what trips is when receivers are all lined up to one side of the field. You might have three to one side or two to one side and one to the opposite or none to that side, right? But when you see that, that does confuse man coverage sometimes, right? And it floods zone coverages. That's an issue. But I would have said I'm gonna challenge you at the line of scrimmage because I need to buy these guys time to get home. Dallas don't get no calls in big games against big teams for sure. They call every little thing we do though. Yeah, that's a fact. Just keep up the great work. Thanks, Jonathan. Yeah, because that's what the tackle is watching, the feet effects. Okoye is making Cowboys fans smarter. I certainly hope so. Because they be driving me crazy. Think I don't know what the hell I'm talking about too. I think Clark and Quinnen are going to Hawk smash from the tackle position this year. Facts. We got some beasts in the middle. I'm getting excited for the season. If you listen, if you love Quinnen Williams and Quinnen Williams is A+ player, then you gotta love Kenny Clark because I didn't see anything Kenny Clark was doing that Quinnen wasn't that Quinnen was doing that Kenny wasn't doing. They both were doing the same thing on the field. I don't know why because he's younger. He gets more. I think he's younger. I don't even know. Is he? Kenny Clark and Quinnen Williams. Let me see. Is he younger? How old is he? Kenny Clark is. I know he's been in the league longer, but he is 30, and Quinnen is 28. They damn near same age. So they ain't that much of a difference. But they act like Quinnen Williams was out. They'll say Quinnen Williams, Quinnen Williams, Quinnen Williams, but nobody mentions Kenny Clark like he wasn't a 3-time Pro Bowler who was just coming off of a foot injury the year before. That's the only reason and that was him. Last year was him returning from a foot injury. So he had a foot injury the year before that was hampering him. That's why his numbers went down, and they wanted to get him off the books. The year we got him, he was recovering from the foot injury, and he re-injured it a couple times too. You guys seen him lead the game, still play straight through it. For him to do what he did with that, if he's healthy this year, and you get him back to the form that he was the year before that, oh my God, Kenny Clark ain't no joke, man. Kenny Clark ain't no joke. That's crazy. Offensive tackles are reaching, not attacking. The first step gives them all the information. He needs to learn how to manipulate his steps. Yeah, he doesn't use his feet to set up his rush. One thing about Okoye, he put it where the goat can get it. Yeah, that's fact. The goats can get it. Yeah, thanks. Damn. So we need a premier pass rusher. We might. You never know. It's like no, those guys need to finish though. I think that we have premier pass rushers. If you want to call defensive tackles pass rushers, I don't think they're edge rushers. Obviously, they're not. But I would say they're premier. Like you wouldn't say that you need a premier pass rusher if you had Aaron Donald, right? Well, Aaron Donald's probably a better pass rusher than both these guys, right? Because he's quicker and he's just a freak of nature. But if Aaron Donald's A+, these guys are A-. You know what I'm saying? Or if he's 1, they're 1A. So I don't care. You got 2 of them though. That's the difference. We ain't just got 1. We got 2. So if you double team one, the other one gonna cook you. If you double team both, those guys on the outside should cook you. But even if you double team, they can beat that too. So I mean, I'm loving it. Okoye started dropping shorts called the Film Room with Okoye. I'm trying to, but you got to think about how long these lives be, and then how long it takes to even cut this film up. I don't have the time to come, and then when it's time to go to a new topic, I can't go back to the videos I did and start trying to cut those as often. I try to do them from my phone when I'm traveling, but it's a lot going on. A lot going on, man. I got a lot to do, and I work a lot. Why do you say that, Paul? Oh, you ain't talking to me. Ezraku plus BT Jordan equal premier pass rusher, in my opinion. Yep. And Gary, too. I think Gary just need a counter. Gary, it's hard as hell to block him. He's strong. Him and Sam Williams strong, but they don't counter. If they can counter with their hands and be way more active with their hands, I mean, and I would teach them that. Like if they came here, just learn some boxing. Your hands would be fast as hell. I wouldn't do no mitts with them. I don't like the mitt work. It's dumb. If you want to get your hands speed up, hit the speed bag. I would have them in the speed, like for the whole summer, I had them punching the speed bag. They hit the speed bag, their hands will be lightning fast. And then after that, it's like, all right, just use the motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Don't let nobody into your frame. But that's all they would need is a summer. Give me 3 months and their hands will be fast as hell. It's on them to make them strong. Sam Williams has all the measurables and ability to be a great player. So does Ezraku. Yeah. I'm a little blind, but analyzed team in the league every year, no matter the head coach. Roger Goodell hates Jerry. Facts. I've been telling people we have a premier pass rusher and run defender in Quentin Williams. He's a superstar. And with better coaching, 4 or 5 solid pass rushers around him is all we need to go with our offseason. Yeah. Or all we need to go off, I think you're saying. With BT Jordan in the building, even Sam Williams could take a leap. Facts. Sam does, but he does dumb things, which sets us back. If Sam matures more, maybe he gets more shine. I think Sam just needs better coaching. Like when you don't respect your I got guys that, like I got a fighter at Hakeem. Like he's my ex-wife's little cousin, right? He's 32 now. Started training him on a tennis court. But he was wild. He was running the street, shooting and shit, doing all kinds of crazy shit. But if you met him, you would think he a Marine. Like he's super disciplined, super focused, super on point. He'll run through a wall for me. If I call him, he's doing whatever, right? But the reason is I built trust with him and he will listen to me, right? Whereas I think Sam Williams the same way. You got coaches like McCarthy who let you do what you want to do. You know, I think Brian Schottenheimer probably can rein him in a little bit though. And I think if he respects you, he gonna run through a wall for you. I don't think those other coaches, I don't think Eberflus got anybody's respect. I don't think anybody liked him. You know, he's just an old weird guy, right? And then Dan Quinn, they liked him, but he's like the parent that comes and give you candy at midnight. You know what I'm saying? He don't care what you're doing. Just get to the quarterback. He don't care what you're doing. So that's why Sam Williams is playing out of control. I don't think he does that with CP. I think he'll respect him. And it's not because he's black. It's because he's younger and he can kind of like understand. And I think Schottenheimer the same thing. Schottenheimer understand these guys, right? So I think that and then also he want to get money. He ain't gonna make no money being wild now. You better act right for a little while because you're on a 1-year deal now, right? All right. So I don't think if he do it now, then he truly is dumb. You know what I'm saying? But I think his immaturity came from you hitting the league and you got a team full of guys that there's no leadership. Micah Parsons wasn't a leader he was a leader on the field. Meaning, if you say leadership is action, okay, then he's going to get pressures that's going to help you and the rest of the team. So he can lead by example that way, right? But as far as like, I'm going to talk to you and tell you how to be a true pro, that ain't Micah Parsons. D-Law, because of the rift between Micah Parsons and them, there was like a split faction in regards to the power dynamic in the locker room, I believe, because they cursing each other out on the sideline. So can't nobody really argue that. Plus, Hooker's talking about you doing podcasts and shit. Even I was talking about you doing podcasts, and I do one. So I can see that there's no leadership. There was no leadership here. Then you had the veterans that are on the team were mercenaries. You know, they're guys who came from other teams. They weren't guys that were homegrown that knew how to win anything because we hadn't won anything. So who's going to teach you how to be a pro here when nobody here does anything special or is a leader? You know what I'm saying? So Quentin Williams being here now, guys like Kenny Clark, you got Gary. These guys are veterans that really have know how to win, and they have a structure and a way to be a pro. They know how to prepare to be a true pro. Watch film. They can teach you how to watch film. They can teach you how to take care of your body. They can tell you, hey, you might not want to keep partying like that, youngin. You know what I'm saying? Because they can tell you that and you'll listen. You know what I'm saying? We got guys here who want to win, Hooker, guys like that, guys who want to win, who in every room at that, who can teach you how to be a consummate pro. When you look at Bland, another guy, he could teach those young guys at corner. You got Durant now, who is he's not a veteran, but he's a veteran. You know what I'm saying? But he can teach guys too that's coming in the door. Guys like Revel and those guys can glean off of them, even if they're not talking. You watching them in training camp, watching their reps. You watching them in the locker room. You watch them in the training room. You watching them in the weight room. You like, oh, this is what it means to be a pro. We didn't have that. So part of Sam Williams' immaturity, I think, came from the lack of leadership. There's nobody here that was going to tell him to do anything. If you give a kid hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars and you say, go for it, what you think gonna happen? If you give me millions of dollars when I was in my 30s, I wouldn't be sitting in front of you. I'd probably be dead. So yeah, it's really like that. And there's some guys that's older that still ain't learned. Like age don't necessarily equate to maturity either. So that I think that's the problem with Sam Williams. I don't think he's a poor character guy though. I think he's just a young guy that does dumb things. But all y'all been that. We all been that at different ages, unless you was a super square. And ain't nothing wrong with being a square. Squares run the world. You know what I'm saying? But you might have been a super square. You know what I mean? All right, here we go. He said, you want Clowney's return? I don't think it's going to happen because Rashawn Gary's here. Our biggest problem on defense last season was coaching. Facts. He was a minus for everybody on the field. Yup, that off season peanut butter may do Easy some good. Yeah, he need to get stronger. Once he gets stronger, he's gonna be a problem. Sam Williams need to work on his pass rush moves. That's what BT Jordan is here. Think about it. Why do you think Christian Parker said, all right, we ain't gonna go out and get a savant, just a pure pass rusher. We got a situational pass rusher in Houston, but we ain't gonna go out and get a pass rusher, like just a pass rush specialist guy. We want a guy that can still stop the run. But how do you take those guys that can stop the run? It's not a liability in pass rush. You go get a guy that can teach them some pass rush moves in BT. And you saw what he did over there in Denver. But Sam, with his hustle, he gonna get you some sacks just from the hustle. He gonna get you at least four hustle sacks if he's healthy. He gonna get you four hustle sacks because he a hustler. And if he can beat his guy enough, he'll get you another 4 or 5 actual sacks too. So I think Sam Williams can easily be an 8 to 10 sack guy. And he was like that before he got injured. Before he got injured, I knew when he was saying, like, let me out the cage when everybody was here. Oh, Sam would have been a 10 sack guy then, but we had too many pass rushers. So his productivity was crazy, just like Fowler's. Fowler left here and went and got 10 sacks, right? In Washington. And then came back. He wasn't a 10 sack guy because of the rotation. Whereas if you're playing and you're getting the majority of the reps, and the only time you get out the game is when you're hurt or you're tired, you're going to get more reps and you're going to get a feel for the game. It's just like some running backs don't run very good off committee because they're not getting the carries. They want to be able to, keep working at it and pounding you, right? So Sam Williams, I think, is one of those guys. He's a physical guy where he beats the guys that are more physical than he does the guys that are smart, right? Like Milata and Lane Johnson are physical. Sam Williams be giving them work. He be throwing them all over the place because he can get right physical with you. And he only 270, but he be throwing guys like that around like that's 320. No problem. You know what I mean? So I take a guy like that and I say that if you teach him just one move that he can do very well, then he develops what you call, just like a wide receiver has a route tree. A defensive end has a counter tree that can build off of whatever that move is. But Gary is his long arm. He that's his go-to move. He does it very well, and he bull rushes using that one hand, that steering wheel, right? He needs to counter off that sooner. Sam Williams does a little bit of everything. He has a lot of moves. He has heavy hands, but he's inactive and lazy with his hands at times, and that's his problem. But he has the moves. The moves are there. It's just that he doesn't engage fast enough. He needs to start fighting your hands before you even get a grip. He starts once you touch him. You know what I'm saying? And that's too late because now they're into your frame and it's over. Or now you have to exert too much energy to disengage with them. Whereas if you just got their hands out of the way, before they even get a chance to get their hands on you. I'm gonna give you an example of what I mean because they do it very, very well. Let me see if I got this video for y'all, my youngins. Where are they at? Boom. All right, boom. Yeah, my youngins. Where is it? Take this out of here. Boom. Here we go. Here they go. Real quick. Watch this. Just watch any play. Even though I thought he was like late with his hands here, just watch their hands. Watch soon. Like this is because Jason Taylor's teaching them to. He's splitting the double team with a swim move already, and before he gets engaged from the back, he already is aware. Like I need to get this guy's hands off me. You know what I mean? Get him off me. Even though these guys aren't holding like everybody's holding us, but still, before 75 can even punch, he's already attacked his hands. Bang did right there. See what I'm saying? So if you can get more intentional and more deliberate with your hands, if you're Sam Williams and Ezeraku, you'll get this type of effect. Like look at the setup. So I'm gonna use my legs to get the tackle set. And once he's set, before he can even punch me, I'm already into it. Look. As soon as he goes to punch, right here, boom. Swipe. That's two moves right there. Swipe and then rip. Swipe, rip. So just in case you were going to reset and counter that, I'm already ready for the next one. And I do this with boxing. I tell my guys, hey, for defense, instead of trying to anticipate what's coming, right? Because you're not going to be fast enough then. I'll wait till I'm on screen so I can show you. But I want to get one more of these first. 1 second. Watch this. Where am I at with it? Bam. Where are we at? Press play. Saw that one. Here's the next play. My dog will not shut up, man. I'm like, yo, what's up with you, man? You bark all day. I had nothing though. Ain't nothing happening. Shut up. Yo, I never knew a dog can talk too much. Like you talk to me. See, look, before the tackle can even get his hands into his frame, he's already clubbing him to the side right there. Boom. Club. Right there. Boom. Get out of here. Get him out of here. So he keeps him off balance before he can get set. Now you have to be quicker than the man in front of you. If you're not more intentional, if you're thinking or you're trying to just use your instincts, you're going to be late because they're letting them dictate what type of rush you're going to do. You got to know what you want to do before you even get into it. Right? I like Bane. I think those guys will be here, but this ain't a Bane video. I just want to show you that real quick. But with boxing, same thing. With defense, I tell them instead of trying to figure out which hand is coming, lean one way or the other, or getting right hand dominant or left hand dominant. That way you can anticipate. Like if I'm in left hand dominant, meaning if I got my weight on my left foot, I brought my face closer to your right hand, meaning I'm baiting the right hand. So if I catch a jab, I know the right hand is coming. So when I rock back off of that, it looked like I slipped the punch. When really I just built it into my stance where I know once I catch a jab, I got room to move back and it's automatic. So I'm automatically slipping a punch because that's just my cadence. I'm automatically slipping once I feel the jab. I know the right hand's coming because you feel anything. Most guys, when they feel any pressure on their jab, they automatically throw the right hand because they think they're in range. So you automatically slipping out of range, and that's a half step back, and now you can counter off that, right? I teach guys that, but it's the same thing with pass rush moves. If I know that he's gonna counter anyway, right? So don't give him anything. You get like that's why I like ghost step or a ghost punch rush, right? Where you look like you're giving the steering wheel, and then you just dip your shoulder and go because you're forcing that tackle to use his hands or engage his hands, and then you can counter. So you're countering the counter. You set up a counter from your opponent, and then counter that instead of having an initial move off your instinct and then they counter you. You know what I'm saying? So you have to counter their counter. In order to do that, you have to draw the counter out, meaning I have to give you what you think you're looking for and then counter that. And that's where I think the advanced pass rushers know that, whereas the ones that have to learn it, they're doing it off of instinct, where they can beat you if it's just physical on physical, but it's a mental game that they're not playing. And I think Ezeraku, Leofile definitely going to need to learn it because he's physical too, but he don't anticipate anything. And Sam Williams, they're all just reckless athletes that are coming after you, and they need to rein it in. So I think BT Jordan is there for those three especially. All right, here we go. Uh, who do y'all think is our most relentless player on the current staff? Relentless player. We got a couple of them though. I would say Demo is relentless. He probably the most relentless. Then you got Sam Williams is relentless. You got Kenny Clark and Quentin Williams. They relentless. You know what I'm saying? I think Rashawn Gary is relentless too. He coming after you. So we got a lot of guys that just run into the ball trying to kill something right now. Oh, and Morris Leafile relentless too. You know, he don't give up on nothing. So I think we got a good amount of them. CP probably saw something in Sam. Otherwise, he may be gone like Solomon, Donovan, and Fowler. Yep, and Osa. Yep. I see that Judas. No disagreement from me. All right. Let's see. He said, "Damn, how was Coach Fluss? How was Fluss coaching these guys? They're like a dummy." He said, "Under Fluss, the linebackers didn't even understand their assignments most sets." You know what's crazy about that is he's a linebacker coach when he was here, which was wow. Okoye with the easy rock hip injury. What are the long term implications being said? I have to look into it because I hear people keep talking about it, but let's see. Someone said they didn't like his offseason and how it was going. So, let's try to think about that. He said you got to include Otito Agbana or Agbo. I do, but he's not a pass rusher. But I include him when it comes to the run. Yeah, but even if he's out there when you're passing the ball, he still is a force to have to deal with. But he's not a guy that's about to get upfield at all. Him or Toia, I don't think they're getting upfield, but they still require a double team. So even if you broke up Kenny Clark and Quentin Williams, one of them is on the bench getting some Gatorade, you got another guy that can still man a double team out there with Toia or Agbo. So that's still good. Okay, let's see. He, he said that boy Kenny looks beastie. Sheesh. Yeah, don't nobody paid attention to what he was doing. They keep talking like he got old overnight or something. Like what are y'all talking about? When we talk about pass rush, you got those two, and you saw what Byron Murphy and Leonard Williams can do. I don't think those two are better than Kenny Clark and Quentin Williams. I think that Leonard Williams is just as good as Kenny Clark and Quentin Williams, or Quentin Williams more so, because I think Quentin Williams is more. Well, Kenny Clark can play the 4 too. So no, I think Leonard Williams is more like those guys, and then Murphy's just slightly under that. But I think we got the best defensive tackle room in the league right now from a starting standpoint, for sure. Hit that like button. He said we 200 deep or nearly 200 deep. He said any film on last year's defense just furthers my thinking. Eberflus fucked us bad, man. Yeah, real good. Did dude trip Sam when he was on the ground? Yeah, yeah, he did. That was leg whip. Okoye Clowney fix. Do Clowney fix it any way? CP's upcoming defense thoughts. You can see. No, because like I said, he's a guy that's like. So Clowney is not as fast as a Sam Williams, but he's a guy that's like Gary. They're similar, similar. So I don't know if they did bring Clowney back. I don't know where he would play, how often he would play. He might be a progress stopper. I think that's the reason he's not back, but he might. If somebody gets injured in camp, they probably go get him. Sam's hustle made Saquon fumble in the Eagles game. Facts. We saw that. Man, I hope Rev will come on this year. Having Durant will help the young brother. I hope. Yeah, we're going to draft somebody too. He said, show me some effort and I can fix the rest. That's facts. Sam, I read that. Cowboys fans are begging for Max Crosby. Think about who helped shape him early on. Yep, BT Jordan. He did? I didn't even know that. That's wild. Now I got to do my research on BT. I'm about to do a BT Okoye breakdown. What's up, Okoye? Sam had a hustle play against Swift in Chicago too. Okoye, what's up, bro? Keep up the good work. Appreciate you, Prophet. Yeah. He said I either lost the account or the email. I don't know, bro. Damn. I'm good on Crosby. Let's do it by committee as the sport intended. Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah, because he come in and y'all be ready to cry, yo. When if we sold the farm for Crosby or Parsons, and one of them got hurt. Y'all turn the TV off. Y'all ain't gonna watch football no more. Finally, we have someone to really help with them. Right. Cool. I thought you was African because your name was a Koye buddy named Darius. Nah, I ain't African, bro. Nothing against Africans. I'm straight. I'm from what boy say? He said in Boys the Hood. He said I'm from Crenshaw Mafia. No, I'm from Texas. I was born in Texas in Fort Hood Army base, but I was raised here since I was like 4 or 5. So I'm from Philly, man. I'm a Philadelphian, I guess. Rookie D Law got multiple sacks in the playoffs. Facts. He said a Tito ain't good. A Tito just get hurt, but I can deal with what a Tito put on film. We'll find out how good or not good he is, but I know he's strong as hell. I think MJ will only score 15 points a game in the future under in the future under Eberflus. Who is MJ that's playing with Eberflus? Eberflus is over there in the 49ers, right? What are you talking about? Nah, Caleb. His name is actually an acronym. Yep. Applied knowledge over years of experience or accumulated. Depends on what era you met me in. Would you want to draft the linebacker Rodriguez at 20 or it's too high? Yeah, it's too high. I think Rodriguez will be available in 2 or 3, and I think we'll pass on him unless he's there with our third round pick or fourth. But I think he's a third round guy. I don't think his measurables. Although he's a playmaker, though, he's the best linebacker in the draft. He is, and he used to play quarterback. I do like him. And CP has a history with what's it, Josie Jewell from Denver, and Jewell was a quarterback too. Very smart linebacker because he was a quarterback. He knows what's going on the field because he knows what you're trying to do. So I wouldn't hate it, but I don't think it's going to happen. I wouldn't hate it. I don't think he's a first round guy. Though. I agree with you, Reezy. Second, third round guy. You press me in blitz, you're gonna get shredded. Yeah, you press and blitz, you're gonna get shredded. You don't got to blitz. You can press and just and rush the 4 or the 5. You're not gonna get shredded with that. CP is gonna fix Bland. Bland not broken. Bland wasn't getting cooked last year. You act like Bland was the one getting cooked. Bland was hurt last year. He wasn't getting cooked. Diggs. Ooh. Yeah, that was different. Shit, not with a good pass rush, and not if your receivers can't get to their spots. Facts. Bland been trying to get back right. Diggs stop caring. I'll give Bland another season. Bland wasn't bad last year. He had a bad coach. The year before last, he was fine. He got hurt, but Bland was fine. I don't get what people watching. I watched all the Bland film, every snap already, and I ain't seen nothing other than the Arizona game he got cooked. He didn't understand what was going on. Yeah, but I'm talking about like if he was in man coverage, he was fine. But nobody, I can't count no coverage against anybody last year except for Wilson, because Wilson just looked like he was on skates. But we was in zone too much for you to evaluate Bland. Bland is a man cover corner, a press man corner who was playing zone the whole season. So that's the only reason he wasn't himself. He was getting burnt before Eberflus came. Who? Bland? Burnt? Like, what do you mean? You mean constantly getting burnt? Or you mean like he got beat for a touchdown? Because a lot of corners get beat. But burnt? Nah. He wasn't getting cooked. He wasn't getting cooked like that. I think he's more of a slot corner, though. I do agree with that. He should probably be closer to the ball because he can blitz. He can do other things. He's a solid tackler. And I think he's better at covering from the slot. He's not an outside corner. He also wants a player that needed further development, something Dallas doesn't do. Yeah, we do. We bring in guys that got no knees and no eyes. Chris Canty was blind with a bum knee from a bar fight. And we still got Chris Canty. He was like, go get him. Jalen ain't have no knees, or had no ankle and no knee when he got here. He had drop foot. Go get him. Well, I'm seeing pressure being applied on QBs, and yet we don't have a Micah Max. I didn't notice how much Kenny and Q and Easy was winning. I didn't say we don't need one. Now, that's true, Paul. We should probably go get one, but it's not like, it's not like these guys wasn't doing a job. Came in hot. They should have been working on his game instead of crowning him like he was a shutdown corner. Facts. This is the 5th year. We shouldn't be talking about development. Why shouldn't you? Some players don't develop. Some players don't pop to that year, the 5th year. Are they getting the right scheme? I don't know what year it was for Zach Baum, but Zach Baum became an All-Pro out of nowhere once he got with Fangio. So it's all about the coaching, man. It all depends on the scheme you in and if somebody recognizes what they can do with you and does it. You know what I mean? Even Micah. Micah's one of the most underdeveloped players and most disappointing players for me because he's my favorite in the league. And when I say disappointing, Micah Parsons, you guys don't really, if you watch his college film a lot, I watched it a lot, but and his rookie year here too, the things he could do in the field, I haven't seen anybody else do. Like he plays our linebacker. He's an A+ linebacker if he wants to be. Downhill, sideline to sideline. He can play nickel. He's one of those linebackers you can say, we're going to play in our base coverage. When they come out with 3 wide receivers, Michael Parsons is going to go in the slot and play nickel. He might not be covering a man, but he's going to reroute that guy. He might be blitzing. He might be doing something from over there, but we don't need to go into nickel at all. We stay in our base the whole game. Michael Parsons could do that. You know what I'm saying? And it's no problem for him at all. And you can't. And once he over there, yeah, if he might be covering, might not. Might be blitzing, might not. But you know he ain't running over there. Then you won't have no problem with him versus the run either, because he's not trying to get rid of a tackle. He's just playing in space, or he's playing off the ball. If he would have developed his mind and started just studying the game where he knew all the positions and understood how to play linebacker and all the things he's capable of doing, like this guy he's covered Galladay one-on-one up the sideline. How many linebackers you ever seen do that? And not just do it while I'm running with you, but I'm going to turn and break the pass up better than Anthony Brown was doing at the time. I'm like, Anthony Brown don't do that. Turn, no pass interference, secure the receiver, knock the ball down. He did it against the Saints too, so it wasn't a fluke. Then the play where he ran up the field after missing a screen, chased the tight end down, strip stat. I'm like, if you took that guy and said, we're not going to relegate you to just one phase of the defense, we're going to make you effective everywhere. I can even use him as safety. Like you can say, all right, I'm going to take one safety off the field, keep 3 corners on the field in our nickel, and Micah going to be a box safety. What? Come on, man. You could do so many different things with him. And I mean, like, when I say box safety, I don't mean, he's really a safety. I mean, he's taking a safety spot, but he's doing whatever he wants. Like, you can make a defense where Micah could he could be an all-world player if he studied the game and wanted to be. So he's very disappointing because you guys are calling him a generation of talent, and you guys haven't even really seen. When I was arguing against everybody who says he's a pass rusher, you guys haven't even seen him do the things that I know he's capable of doing. So it's like watching Superman get applause for doing backflips and shit, like, or jumping off of buildings and shit. Like, oh, yeah, everybody else think that there's something, but his dad, like, man, he can fly, right? You know what I'm saying? You don't mean that. They're like, oh, he dodging bullets. He bulletproof, right? It's like that. You know what I mean? I ain't impressed by Micah Parsons because I know if he applied his mentals, ain't nothing you could do with that bull at all. At all. Couldn't do shit with him. Black Boy 58, he said, keep it coming. Okoye film breakdown, second to none. Thank you, brother. Preaching. Thank you. You give me ass load of money in the 20s, and I'm going to burn a hole in my pockets. I'm going to probably burn a hole in the earth. I'm going to do too much. I had good money when I was in my 30s, and I did almost get myself killed. I almost got myself killed, something crazy. So, yeah, I think if you, when I was hustling, I was in the streets, I almost got myself murdered. And I didn't even know that it was happening each time it happened. I'm like, damn, I didn't know till after. That's how I know I'm supposed to be here. God was looking out for me. Because I've been sitting in rooms where it's like, oh, that's what was happening. Now that I'm older, I look, you look back at shit, like, damn, that's what was happening. Damn, that's what it was doing. How I get out of it then? If I was like Mr. Magoo or Mr. Bean, I didn't even have no clue what's going on, but still walk out of there. So I'm glad. I'm here. I'm grateful. I'm glad. Bro, Al Harris, one of the best. Stop it. Oh, he did have Al Harris, but I say Al Harris is not one of the best. He's one of the best to teach you to get interceptions, but Al Harris is his corners take risks. So they get turnovers though, but they're not shut down. None of them shut down nothing. They're not shut down guys. They just turnover guys because they take risks. So he'll get the offense the ball back. He one of the best at that, but he ain't shutting shit down. His guys don't shut shit down, and they're not disciplined. Trayvon wasn't disciplined under. He did his best under Al Harris, but he wasn't disciplined at all. He ain't never been disciplined. Neither has Bland. They had a coach that gave them the freedom to make the mistakes because he owned the mistakes. That's smart, but they wasn't shut down guys. They wasn't doing technique to say, "Yo, I don't even want the ball coming your way." He teaches you to play kind of out of position to bait quarterbacks to throw the ball at you more. Whereas your Terrence Newmans of the world, your Jalen Ramseys of the world, your Patrick Surtains, they play a coverage where you don't bother throwing the ball over there at all, right? They don't want the ball coming their way. Whereas, not Terrence Newman, but Diggs and those guys play in a way where they make you throw the ball that way because they're giving you open looks. Okoye, do you have a defensive version of Duke Merriweather to help our young folks? Yeah, that is BT Jordan. BT Jordan is the Duke Merriweather of the defense. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, Brandon T. Jordan. What's up, politics? He said, if you don't know, are you mad at him, Mister? Who you talking to? He arguing with a bunch of people. He cursing everybody out of there. If you don't know who Al Harris is, I can't help you. I know he. I was just talking about Earls. I know you talking to one of y'all. Man, letting Al Harris go got to be one of the biggest mistakes in a decade. No, it's not. Like I said, um, I'm not going to say how I know that, but there are stories that I've heard as to I know exactly why he's not here, and I understand. It has nothing to do with his coaching ability, though. It's just, um, that's all I'm gonna say. But nothing to do with his coaching ability, though. But I do think him and Dan Quinn were too much of player coaches, though. That's for sure. Dog stay barking today. The day is his day. Action or no action. Yeah, that dog don't stop. Yep, that left jab can be a filler just for the overhand right. Yep. Talk that shit, Koye. Yes, sir. All right. He said, no one thinks Zion Childress is a sleeper pick. I liked Zion last season. Where the hell is he? I don't know where he at. Is he on the team? It seems like Flu didn't give a damn, give a damn about players once he got here. Yeah, he ain't like nobody. He wasn't trying to help nobody. You ask him questions, like they would ask him questions. He's like, you know what I mean? Or the players that he would say nice things about were the worst players on the team. I said, why the hell why y'all keep glazing Shamar James? What are you talking about? Shamar James is a special teamer. He's a fifth round lineman. I'm not trying to bring him down. He's a good kid, but he can't change directions. And I don't understand what we was doing with that. Always good ball talk, big dog. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Okoye, don't we really need a linebacker according to the new scheme? Yeah. That's why they're trying to get Brooks. Sam has a great get off, and I believe BT Jordan will magnify his abilities. Yes. I'm trying to read all your shit. I see that you're referencing Seattle, and I know I have been saying that CP will probably do something similar to that. Yep, he will. Okoye, do you want to draft McCoy or do you like Delane? I don't want McCoy because I don't want no more injury projects. I want Delane. If Delane ain't there, don't even bother grabbing a corner in the first round. Grab one of those athletic safeties and make them a nickel, like thing them in and somebody like that, or Caleb Downs or something like that. Put him in the slot, let him play close to the ball, help you stop the run even further, but wreak havoc. You know what I'm saying? Do that, but I don't want another injured corner project. I don't want that because look how y'all treat him anyway. Revel was injured. Y'all talk like Revel is old news now because he was a first round talent that got injured at that, but now y'all like, oh well, he ain't played great out the gate. So next. We need to double dip at linebacker and get one in free agency. Yeah, probably. Okoye, love your work. Great content. One love. Thank you. Michael Smooth. He said, oh shit, okay. You was Philly born and raised. No, I was Texas born, Fort Hood, Texas, raised in Philly. DC myself. Okay, that ain't that far. Dynamic duo, Lexington said. Buddy talking about Michael Jordan. Oh, I don't know what you talking about. I understand. He said MJ. Oh, he said he would have MJ averaging 15 points a game. Now I get it. Oh, all right. Yeah, if he was coaching MJ would have been trash. Man, I've been watching you for at least 3, 4 years, and I'm just now finding out your name wasn't Okoye on the Crown Media Show. Damn, that's crazy. I should say that more, shouldn't I? I don't promote myself enough, I guess, but yeah, that's not my name, man. That's an acronym. Yeah, accumulated knowledge over years experience. Acquired knowledge, accumulated knowledge, or applied knowledge. But no, it's not my name at all. I like high IQ player Sean Lee was if need be. Pause if need be. hmm I like Sean Lee. Dogs is too. How you give Bland that out and not Diggs. Diggs is too. How you give Bland out and not Diggs? What you mean? The injury, John? You talking about? No, I don't like. So one, I ran into Diggs' grandma. His grandma lived down here. Right? Her name, I ain't gonna say her name, but she cool. She cool with my folks, right? We was at Longhorns talking to her for like I was talking to her for like 2 hours because she found out who I was. I'm like, yeah, and so I was like, I do content about your son, about your grandson. She invited me to his grandfather and hers anniversary May of last year, and dope, good people. She was like an FBI agent before too, retired, but good people, right? And she when I mentioned him, she mentioned him not being as hurt, right? She's like, I ain't nothing wrong with my boy. But maybe that's grandma just saying that, right? But I listened to that and then I looked at the fact that he didn't join the team last year to try to rehab, lost money from that, then was like in the media with the Micah Parsons saga, doing too much. He don't look focused. Then when he got there, he didn't know the plays. He was asking Hooker to plays on the field for real. Didn't understand what was going on and tried to come in here doing that freelance shit that he was doing before. And then he tried it in Chicago with that one hand jam or whatever, got cooked, kept getting benched because he kept getting cooked off of those type plays. And he's a guy he's like a Roy Jones. Roy Jones, when his athleticism is there, unbeatable, a problem. But once that athleticism is gone, you got to rely on the fundamentals. And Diggs don't play fundamentally sound football, and he's not as fast as he was pre-injury, or at least it looked like he wasn't. So I didn't like that. He didn't apply himself to the game, and all of the extra stuff. Like I heard some things I ain't gonna say because I don't like to spread rumors, but I heard some things that I don't like off the field, and I also didn't like the fact that you came back to the facility with a concussion. Like, what is this? Like, it's a lot of BS, man. So no. I don't. He got too much going on. That's not football. I don't like that. And I like Diggs, but not no more. Then when he left, the way he got off the team, I was like, come on, bro. Come on, man. Come on, man. For rap, are you crazy, bro? You would never see Peyton Manning do nothing like that, man. You never see Luke Kuechly doing nothing like that. Like we be doing dumb stuff sometimes, man. I be mad for my people because of that. Because I'm like, what are you doing? What you doing, man? Like this era, this window of ball, the average career lasts 3 years, but this window of ball ain't gonna last forever. You could do all that afterward, but while you here, focus on your craft while you doing it. Like focus on your craft, man. And if you can't focus on it, step away. I'm ready to hear your thoughts on Jalen Kilgore, Jake Golday, and Caleb Elam's or all guys in Dallas Wheelhouse. I'll check them out. I got to get the film first, though. All right. Let me see. Okoye, do you like Carson and would you start Kobe over him? I would start Kobe over him. Carson, he's another one that's like I said with Revel. I liked him coming in, but he had two regime changes that make me not understand who he really is. I haven't seen him be consistent enough for me to know which it is. Like, are you the guy that get cooked when you giving 15 yards cushion? Should you never give cushion because you're a press corner? Are you the guy who give up all of those touchdowns when it comes to when you were playing the Ravens and you can't tackle? But I saw you in college, you were tackling. So it's like, I don't know who he is, but maybe he develops. I don't know, but I don't know who he really is. That's why I'm not sure on it. Coaching sucked. Everyone on that side looked bad except Kenny and Quinnen. That's true. Everybody. And they was the only ones that wasn't coached by this coach. Are we trading for Jordan Brooks? I hope so. The 49ers had no problem bringing Eberflus. Lynch wanted him. That's relationships. That's not. It wasn't what he did on in the game. But at the same time, I think Eberflus' excuse was, this is a valid excuse. When I got the job, we had Micah Parsons. We had Diggs, we had Bland. I'm thinking these guys are gonna be healthy. We had two starting caliber safeties. We had a starting caliber team. I just needed to come give them a little push, and then all of the Jerry theatrics. Maybe he uses that as an excuse. A lot of people and fans are underestimating how these defensive coaches are actually going to change things for our players. We have really good players, same as Seattle does, but need to be put in position. Yeah, we do. Micah Parsons was messed up because Tank got hurt. Yep, yep, that messed up his career. Hopefully, Mike Brooks looks like he is in play, and the money matches great for Dallas. Exactly. Micah could have been better than Fred Warner, but he doesn't want to watch film or process the overall offense. He runs 4-3. Yeah, he would affect the game. You would be then it would be worth the money. You won't be able to do anything with Micah Parsons out there because he's everywhere. Playing ends was the worst move for Micah Parsons' career, and the fact that he doesn't like to study makes me think Parker wouldn't like him. That's a fact. And beyond that, now you got to think about this, and this isn't hate. This is just common sense. I watched Sam Williams have to come back from that injury, right? From the ACL injury. And I saw him he's favoring his knee. So when you look at that, you're like, okay, he still favors his knee. And if you run at his legs, he knows that I'm going down for a while. So he'll get out of there. You could just run and dive at his legs. Sam Williams he gonna ole. He gonna step aside. So it's like this. Like if you look at a guy that's doing that or that has that type of issue, now he has Micah Parsons is not a power rusher where he's bench pressing guys super strong. Like Rashawn Gary has that same issue too. And then we saw what happened with Sweat's film. He's limping, right? So you got a knee brace on. It hampers your ability to get in and out of breaks and run. So when he first comes back, we already know he's going to have a red shirt year. If he can do his thing with that knee brace on or with the knee the way it is, then I'll be very impressed. And so one year you're gonna be down. Then the next year, you're back. But when you look at the film that I did on him, like even when he was healthy, guys was running at his knees all day long. I'm hitting him too, like spinning him with hits to the knees. I'm like, damn. So when you watch that and you say, okay, you got a guy who is coming off of an ACL who relies on his wheels to get to the quarterback for real, for real. His legs is what gets him there, and he's hampered. And then if you put a body on him, instead of him having to deal with just being able to run free, like if he was a middle linebacker, he could still run around like Demo does, right? That's different recovery versus I have to be able to forklift a man off of me, and I'm already undersized. That's hard to do, and I think that him being stuck at defensive end is the problem now because now he has to get back to form at a position that's not even really his position. McCoy Tennessee Pro Day 31st, March 31st. Tell me more of what we do if we clean up the linebacker. Hopefully Brooks or the kid from Houston. I like both of them. Before in free agency and maybe same in another edge rusher. Yeah, I think we'll do that before. Dallas don't like to go into the draft hungry and having to take a player and then somebody else takes them off the board. So I think Dallas is going to shore up the middle linebacker position. They're going to address it in free agency and they're going to get a depth guy after that. Or they're going to trade, like you said. So, bro, Dan Quinn really didn't help develop Parsons, and along with Parsons, none striving to do what is best for him. Dan Quinn didn't help Parsons at all. He let him. It's like I said, like the dad that give you candy at midnight. You let him do whatever he wanted to do, and that don't make sense. I would have said you have to play middle linebacker. Ain't no you. I don't care if you want to or not. You playing linebacker, bro. But Dan Quinn's so thirsty for the pressures, he let Micah Parsons get him his job basically. So I'm a ride Micah Parsons to Washington. That's what he did. Well, anytime you got no linebackers and you got a you got a top 5 linebacker on your team. When I say top 12 because he was selected 12, but the reason people don't understand why he's selected 12 and why he was like a 1 overall player, a first overall type player. Why? The motherfucker set out a whole season and still went top 12. What you think he would have did if he played the season and didn't sit out and had linebacking coaching that year? How you go top 12 and you ain't play no ball because of COVID? You know what I'm saying? You ain't play no ball. So that's how good he is. So you got a guy like that on your team, and then you run Marquise Bell and LVE and Javon Curse at linebacker. Why the hell would you do that? So if you're doing that and let me know, you really don't care. You or Michael, y'all don't give a damn. So it's cool. I don't think Houston really willing to move Al Shahir, but the Dolphins definitely in a fire sale. Oh, I'll take that then. Jordan Brookston. Uh, freak coaches turn average players into really good players. We have a lot of those players, and we have the coaches now. I mean, you ain't got to tell me, man. I came up watching Parcells and everybody. Like, I'll give you an example of something personal real quick. Like, I used to manage a bar for my mentor. He passed away too. One of my guys, man, Marv Love. Shout out to Marv Love. Rest in peace. But you can tell, like, because he had to hustle. You knew how to make drinks. You didn't mess up no bread, and you had your head on a swivel. You can tell every bartender and every bar manager that trained under Marv. I can go into a bar and I can say, "Oh, used to work for Marv." They're like, "Yeah, how you know?" Little things, man. I can understand by how you move. You used to work for Marv. Certain things you say, or certain ways you play the game, and I know, right? Parcells was like that. You look at Jason Witten, you look at Tony Romo, you look at guys like Richards, the fullback we used to have, Richards, I think his name was. You go back to like Curtis Martin, you know what I'm saying? Keyshawn Johnson, whatever his name is. I think his name, the guy from ESPN, Keyshawn Johnson. But everybody that ever played under Parcells that you know of, that you can think of, right? They all have a certain style. Even the coaches, they got a certain style, and they all do one thing. They play fundamentally sound ball, and they win. And they also take, like, even Sean Payton. They get within the 50, they're gonna take a shot. That used to be Parcells' thing. So when he crossed into the 50, across the 50-yard line, he taking a shot in the end zone, or he do a trick play right there, somewhere in there. That was his thing. So he had a blueprint. Belichick, Vrabel, all those guys are all coming from the Parcells tree, for real, for real. You know what I mean? So players that played under Parcells they was different. He knew how to get the best out of you. So yeah, a good coach can definitely bring the best or the worst out of a player, depending on what you let him do. Parcells was a guy that was a lot like Jimmy, where he wasn't as fiery as Jimmy. He was more smooth. But if you fucked up, you out. You don't care who you gone, buddy. You out of here. Gone. Get out of here. All right. Corey, you're telling the truth about Al Harris. Nobody would say. Yeah, nobody was gonna tell. Nobody's gonna say. I ain't gonna say all the way either, but he did some stupid shit. Okoye out here working, feel spoiled with all the content you giving us recently, man. Oh yeah, it's gonna keep coming. Like I said, I was gonna leave this alone, but I said, look, either you go hard this year or you quit. That's my rule for myself. Go hard or quit. So if I don't go hard, I'm done. All right, y'all ain't gonna see me no more. I'm just gonna make money doing what I'm doing. I make good money now, but I'm not fully focused. So I'm like, if I'm a still focus away from the things that I'm doing that's feed my family, I gotta make it count. It can't be a hobby no more. If I'm still focused from it, I gotta treat it like it's real. Otherwise, I need to go train my fighters who are putting their life on the line. I'm not even in the gym every day. I'm here more than I'm in the gym. So I'm like, if I'm gonna be pulling time away from that, I gotta make it count. Otherwise, I need to go do that. You know what I'm saying? So it gotta go that way. Gotta go that way. Gave his favorites too leeway. Hold on. Plus, I don't even like grits. Oh man. Yeah, Al Harris is letting his boys freelance and letting them do their thing, and he's playing favorites because he destroyed not Ezeraku, Izzy Mukwamu's career. I think Izzy should have been playing a long time ago, but whatever. But him and Izzy got in an argument on the sideline, and I ain't never seen Izzy since. And that was after the Tampa Bay game in the playoffs where Izzy was balling. I ain't seen him since. Tap it in. Did I miss a film study, or are we going through the comments first? Oh yeah, you missed a film study. You need to rewatch this, John. Man, I said the exact same thing when they trade you for when they trade you for Shamar James. I see a special teamer. Yeah, I see a special teamer. Shamar James can't change directions at all. When he runs a route, or if somebody runs around in front of him, you can run right by him. Once I saw that happen once, I said, why he not change? He got no dexterity. But Christian Parker on it though. Because he said, yeah, the 40 time is cool, but can you start and stop? He said that recently. I'm like, well, why don't nobody else know that? They just grabbing guys off their 40 time. But if I run in a straight line full speed, but I can't cut on these knees, it don't mean shit that I'm fast. That means I gotta see you. You gotta be running in a straight line, and we gotta be running straight lines in order for us to hit each other. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, I'm not gonna catch you. Hey, Susan. Susan Jackson 63. She said, "Hey, Okoye in the chat. Hey, Susan, how you doing? Welcome, Susan." Terrell might have the best movement ability of any corner in the class. Probably no, he does not. D'Angelo Pons does. I would take D'Angelo Pons all day. I like Bull. Fluss got a job the next day at San Francisco. Yep, good. Glad for him. Good for him. But I don't want him back here. Take your ass on. Diggs had knee injury and is a man cover corner. And is a man corner is what I was trying to say. Driving and typing, messing it up. Oh, okay. Yeah. He is too. I'll give him that excuse. Yeah, that's true. But the reason I don't give Diggs the excuse as much, I got film on Diggs. I don't want to put it on this video either because I think I'm on to something where I won't get a strike. If I put the Diggs video on and I get a strike, I don't know if I would have been right. So I'm gonna finish this video, but I'll tell you, you just have to believe me. Or go on Twitter and watch. Just type in Okoye Diggs on Twitter, and all my Diggs videos that I posted this year should come up. But in one breakdown that I did, I can see Eberflus attempting to do what Diggs is asking him to do, which is just let us play man, coach. And every time he did it, he did it in the Giants game. He followed Neighbors. In the beginning of that game, he was following Neighbors, and he made Russell Wilson look like the Russell Wilson of old. He made Russell Wilson look good because Neighbors was cooking Diggs because Diggs kept taking chances. And I'm like, why you keep doing that? Then in the Chicago game, did it again, and then he got benched for a little second. They brought him back in, but after that, they didn't trust him anymore. So Diggs is just doing dumb. He was just doing dumb stuff, man. He's doing dumb stuff, and that's the stuff I'm talking about. I can see when they were trying to like. I'm a coach. I'm putting my career and my family in your hands, and you got to show up, bro. You can't play. Don't play with my life. Are you tripping? That's what he was doing. He playing with people's lives, but Eberflus was playing people's lives too. So I guess they was even. Diggs was not focused at all. I like Diggs, but I'm waiting to hear of him retiring. I don't think he's retiring. You think he's gonna retire? I don't think he's gonna retire. If he do, I mean that's on him. Patrick, he said, I believe CP will make the three-headed monster out of Revel, Carson, Delane, since everyone wants him. I believe McCoy will be a better pro. Love your acronym for your name, and your analysis is dope. Why you keep throwing Carson in there? Where's Bland at? You think Carson is better than Bland? No, he is not. Okoye, one must work on Okoye, one must work on to master their craft. Be wise on their off-field duty. You gotta watch film. I know what you're trying to say. Yeah, you gotta watch film. You gotta work on your craft in your off time. If you got time to do a podcast, you got time to watch film. And I did hear that. That's true. The reason I believe Jesse Holley probably said what he said about Micah relying on his athleticism is because in Dallas, I know a lot of people in Dallas, and there's a rumor that goes around that says that when you look at the tablets that they send home, the film tablets, Micah Parsons had the lowest film hours out of any player. Now, remember I said it's a rumor. So if I'm wrong, he might prove me wrong. Hopefully you do. But I don't think I'm wrong. I don't think I'm wrong. He said he wasn't watching no film. And then I had people who would reach out to me that's from the organization. They were not going to talk. But when I was talking about him playing linebacker, people was like, keep up the fight. Why you think I'll be fighting and I know I'm right? I'll be like, I know I'm right because I'm talking to the people who are talking to him. So I'm not wrong, but other people will argue me off a theory. I'll come up with a theory and I was nailing it at that time. And somebody was like, you ain't the only one who think that. Keep fighting the good fight. I said, oh, that means a lot coming from you. Appreciate that. Plus, everyone is gone, so Micah doesn't have any help on the D-line. This might be his worst season in his career. This is going to be his. I mean, maybe he's a freak of nature. You never know. DQ hurt Parsons. Zimmer was trying to explain him. Eberflus expand him. Eberflus came and ruined everything. Eberflus ain't even get a chance. So Eberflus ain't ruined Micah. Eberflus never coached him. Micah was sitting on the sideline chilling while Eberflus was coaching. He ain't even respect Eberflus. Then Buddy was top 12 and set out a whole year. Sheesh. Yeah. Ain't that some shit? We picked him 12 and then if you pick a guy 12 to play linebacker, how good at linebacker is that guy? If you picked him at 12, first off, linebackers don't even go top 10 really usually. But you picked him at 12 and he sat out a year. How good was he at linebacker? And you at Dan Quinn, you genius, you say, I know what to do. Let's make him a defensive end. It's like Madden. That's Madden. You be like, yo, my linebacker run a 90. He got a 90 in speed and he's strong and he got pass rush moves. I'm going to change his position. That's dumb as hell, dog. That's dumb. That was dumb. That was dumb. And I was mad that they did that to him. And I'm like, and the fact that he was arguing for the money, he didn't even understand. Like, you can get a defender's paycheck if you play the way you're supposed to. Meaning, if you had 125 tackles a year, 10 sacks, you don't even need to be the sack leader at middle linebacker. If you're a double-digit sack middle linebacker every year, they'd be like, what the fuck is this? We never seen this before. A double-digit sack middle linebacker. Even if you was an 8 sack a season middle linebacker, but you were getting forced fumbles, pressures, interceptions, you know what I mean? Breaking up passes, you know what I'm saying? And stopping the run. And a lineal run defender, there would be no one in the league that can do what you do. So then you could ask for whatever money you want. And nobody will be mad to give it to you because you can really build a team around a guy like that. Because I don't need a nickel. Because he out. I don't need a nickel. I don't need a savant at pass rush. This guy, I'm gonna pay him out there on third down. He pass rushing. I don't need to pay a pass rusher. I'm paying him. I pay him. So even if you paid him $60 million, it wouldn't matter because I ain't got to pay another defensive end another 40 million, 30 million, or 20 million because I got him. I don't got to pay a nickel 15, 20 million because I got him. I ain't got to pay another middle linebacker because I got him. He playing 3, 4, 5 positions. I ain't got to pay a safety because a nickel, you doing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make him all world. If what I would do with Michael Parsons if I coached a team would be crazy. You would not be able to beat me. I would use him like they use Troy Polamalu, meaning my defense is designed. It would be a 3-4 and it's designed with 10 guys, only 10 guys. That 11th guy is my X factor, and you don't know what the hell he's doing until we break the huddle. You don't know where he at. You don't know where we lining up until he break the huddle. Then you're like, damn. And if you had to come out pre-snap as a quarterback or as an offensive coordinator, you couldn't anticipate how to attack that because when you don't find out what I'm doing until you have the ball. You don't know what he's doing until you get to the line. You don't know where he's lining up until he gets to the line. And now you're screwed because you might be calling plays that you think might bust a certain look, but you don't know where he's lining up until he get out here. You know what I'm saying? If you make a guy have to figure out what Micah Parsons is doing with the athleticism he has, now you're making him better just off the scheme, and he's already that good. So it would be nothing you can do with him. Nothing. That would be crazy. I'm all about being in on the Dolphins fire sale. Yep. Cowboys get a deal in Brooks if you can, please. Yeah, I would too. You're saying Parsons is a one-trick pony for just wanting to play defensive end exclusively. Yep. It would be like I told you, it's like Superman. It's like Superman doing getting paid to do parlor tricks and backflips. My trainer used to say this, right? I never boxed professionally, right? I started trying to box professionally at 23. But I had kids already. When I was young, I've been boxing since I was 7. So when I was young, I could fight. I could box. I trained there when I was young. I came back to him when I was older. I was like 23. And I wouldn't take it serious, but I had crazy talent. Still do. Had crazy talent though, right? And I would be happy because I would go to all the other gyms and I would spar because he wouldn't let me spar who I want to spar. So I would go to other gyms with no coach and just spar, right? And he said to me one time, he said, you're not training to be better than average people, are you? If you're training to be better than just average people, you're already that. You can stop boxing right now. You can just quit. Get what I'm saying? I'm training you to be great, and you happy to be average. You know what I'm saying? I was doing the same type of shit. Like if you good, you don't compare yourself to others because they're not in the same league as you. So he's comparing himself to defensive ends like a dummy. He's sitting there arguing with Myles Garrett like I'm the best defensive end. You're not the best defensive end, but he don't understand. The argument is you're the best defender that might have ever seen this game. I argue that he might have been better than LT if he wanted to be, because LT, although he can play all the linebacker positions and probably defensive end positions, he can't run up with he can't cover a receiver. You know what I'm saying? He can't play nickel. He can't play safety if he wanted to. He can't outrun Jamar Chase. You know what I'm saying? So and outcut Jamar Chase and Deuce Vaughn. That's what Michael Parsons could do. So I'm like, you got a guy like that who can do all those things, and you choose to just put your hand in the ground and run up the field after the quarterback. But he don't realize when you argue with Miles Garrett about those things, right? Miles Garrett is a better overall defensive end than you are because he can stop the run and he gets more sacks than you and just as many pressures, right? But the thing is, he can't play middle linebacker. You better than him. If you argue with Fred Warner might be able to do some linebackery things better than you. He might know things more than you. Luke Kuechly is more of a student of the game than you are, but he can't go get you 15 sacks from the edge and lead the league in pressures. You can. So the fact that he can do all those things that is what makes him great. And he got nerve to be a Gemini at that. And he do everything. So the fact that he can do all those things would have made Micah Parsons great. The fact that he didn't want to is what makes him disappointing to me. I would love to be a boxing manager. I'd be like Mickey. Okoye, it's for you to start making money for your intake. It's time for you to start making money for your intake. Yeah, I mean, it's coming. It's coming. I ain't worried about it. Only reason I started getting super serious, I'm like, it's time to start buying houses, man. So I'm like, all right, you got avenues for additional income. You better start doing what you can do, or you better stop doing that and do something else. Then you know what I mean. When I first learned of Okoye, his honesty was what made me enjoy watching his content. Yeah, that's a bad thing though, because I'm honest to a fault. I'll probably be too honest. I need to shut up sometimes. He's an Izzy with a straight dog. Yes, he was. Yeah, knock you out and cover you. And he was like 6'4", but could get in and out of breaks at 212, 220. All right, I'll be happy with the rewatch. I was looking through your previous posted vids for Sean Lee film study, but I couldn't find it. I'll find it for you right now, bro. It's called Field General, I think. But let me find it for you real quick. I see you almost had me put this up too, because if I put it up, I think I'm going to get my joint strike. But I'm going to go to YouTube real quick. Find it for you. It's you got to type in. Hold up, where is it? They did me dirty like that. Why my joint don't pop up? Huh? Hmm. All right, I'm gonna give you a link because I don't know where it's at either. Hold on one second, bro. Yeah, call Sean. Oh, it's called Formless. Sean Lee Formless, but I'm gonna give it to you right now. Copy. This is one of them, but I did two. Where the other one at? It don't matter. Here. Here go the link. Link is in the chat, folks. That's one. I haven't looked at that one, but if you watch it, it should be. If it's the one against the Seattle Seahawks, it's different. If it's the one against the Giants, that game he had like 60 snaps. He affected like 33 plays out of the game. I said that was crazy. All right, we're here for that Okoye media film and content action for sure, boxing and football content. That's facts. Bro, I was wondering why Bradley Chubb wasn't considering even after Miami had released him. I saw him as a perfect fit along with Quentin Williams, whom just released. I don't know. Maybe he wanted too much money. He said, would I take Pons at 12? I'd take him at 20. I think Pons will be there at 20. I think Pons will be there in the second round, maybe in the third because of his height. He only 5'9". Get right and smash the like button, people. I would gamble. Like I would want Pons. I think Christian Parker really want him, but I would want him. And if he falls to me at the third round, I would gamble for the third round and hope that he's there. I wouldn't jump up to take him in the first round. There's other things we need more. Parker got to show me now. He said players over scheme, lies, won't fool me twice. What are you talking about? You talking about Osa? Bro, if you wanted to keep Osa here, you tripping. You tripping. Osa hasn't done anything for you to want to keep him. Now, if you want to keep him because Osa bought a house here and he could have got more in Washington, because that's the argument people keep giving me when they say they got rid of Osa was he just bought a house and he could have took more money last year and went to Washington. That's on Osa and his man and his agent. Nobody, that ain't on us. Osa had an opportunity, right? After he got the deal, right? There was no Kenny Clark here yet. Kenny Clark came here and it was Kenny Clark, Osa, and Mozzie. Mozzie didn't step up. He gone. Okay. Well, I didn't even think they gave him a shot to step up, but he gone. Then Osa didn't step up last year. He got ran on. He gone. It's your job to. I'm not paying you 20 mil to get ran through. What are you talking about? Like wet paper? You tripping? No. I've been around long enough to have seen Okoye early vids, by the way. Okoye can leave all year and only do draft talk or only do in-season vids. That's what I'd be doing, too. That's what I was doing. I ain't doing that anymore, though. Okoye, I was wondering why Chubb and Quincy Williams, weren't options. I saw them as perfect fit. Chubb, like I said, might have wanted more money. And so Quincy Williams, too. Quincy Williams, we're not going to pay a linebacker, not going to pay him that type of money, the type of money he wanted, probably. I think they have a market for or idea for what they want to pay, and the Cowboys not paying more than that. But the way free agency works now, it's not like it was back in Jerry Day where you can negotiate. Jerry want to go back and forth and get the best bang for his buck. He want to send numbers back and forth back. It ain't like that. They'd be like this. It's like if you hustling, like, yo, I got so-and-so at this price. And you'd be like, nah, I want it at 600. Now I got people buying it at 8. Goodbye. Get off my phone. Why would I sell it to you? You know what I'm saying? I don't care. Same thing. If I got Chicago and Arizona offering what we asking for or close to it, and we was like, all right, well, let's see if we can get another deal on the table with the Cowboys, and you lowball that number, you're not even in the conversation. It's not going to happen. That's what Jerry does. So that's why he does better with trades, because with a trade, and Jerry's smart with this, though, because even with the Max Crosby trade, I'm a genius, I think, because I don't think anybody even said this. So I'm going to give y'all this one, right? Check this out. I said it in a way, but I never really finished how it might work out. Y'all wanted to give up this year's first round picks for Max Crosby, right? Everybody would probably gave up at least one of them, right? Jerry says, how could I possibly get Max Crosby, right? But not give up no first round picks? How could I do it? No first round picks for this season. I want all my draft picks for this year to rebuild, but I still want Max Crosby too. We did it before. We do it all the time. How could I do that? Using your future picks, right? So Max Crosby goes to the Ravens. Jerry's doctor, Cooper, examines him, says the meniscus isn't healed yet, and he kind of cloudies the water a little bit, muddies the water when it comes to Max. Ravens get cold feet. Max go back home, right? Okay. Now what did Jerry get to do? I get to watch the injured player on somebody else's dime. So I get to watch Max Crosby while I work on my salary cap issues, but I get to watch him and see how does he fare in training camp? Does he heal, right? And then I get to watch him even at the start of the season. How does he play in the start of the season? But now I also get a better deal on him because Max Crosby, hey, you going to come here and you going to ask for crazy money, but we heard you got the knee problem, so I'm going to get a better deal when we trade for you. You're not going to ask for crazy money because now you think nobody wants you. You're going to be begging me to get you out of Oakland now. You know what I'm saying? Genius. Then you trade for him before the trade deadline next year, and you use a future pick, meaning a 2027 first round draft pick for him. Then it don't fucking matter. Get it? But you still get all your picks this year. You get to watch and see if he's healthy. If he ain't, you ain't risk nothing. You ain't do nothing. If he is, go get him. Go get him. And he'll be dying to get the hell out. You already know you want to get out of there. You know what I'm saying? Go get him. Genius. I think that's genius. If Jerry do that, that's genius. So it ain't over with Max Crosby. It's just, I think it's a wait and see approach. But that's how Jerry played the game. He don't do it now because now is when the price is high. He going to buy when the price is low, and the price is going to be low during the season. You know what I'm saying? So I love it. I love that about Jerry. People just they ain't paying attention. Okoye, do you think Diggs sabotaged his season in Dallas to go with Micah to the Packers? Probably. Diggs weird, man. I think they was, I ain't gonna say, but he weird. He a weird boy, man. He move weird. I don't think he retires. I think he shows up in Washington with DQ. Maybe. Yeah, he might go to Chicago with Al Harris. Cowboy fans eat their own fam. One bad play and you were never good. It depends on who it is. Osa had a bunch of bad plays, and you still think he good. So obviously you're wrong because I hear a bunch of people talking about Osa like he was good. Tell me when Osa was good. Where's this guy that y'all keep talking about that's like was a world beater? Osa's never ascended to that level. Now he had guys that left here that have done it, but he hasn't done it yet. I've been watching Osa film. I know I watch more than you. I know that, and I'm not being arrogant. It's just a fact. And I haven't seen this guy that you're talking about. Now he's a good player, but he need help. He's a guy. He's like a cleanup crew guy. He's not like whooping ass and taking names every play. Like stop it. He never was. Never was. Now everybody give him credit because he'll get you some sacks. He get you, but he had like what 4 or 5 sacks at the time. Y'all, the guy that y'all didn't like was better than him. Y'all ain't like Chauncey Golston. Chauncey Golston is better than Osa. You're not running on him. He could play outside linebacker. He could play 4-eye. He could play 1 tech, and he could play 3 tech. And they got rid of him and kept Osa for the money. You'd have got Chauncey for cheap. Chauncey was the better player and was smaller. He got up to like 270, 280, somewhere in there. But he was smaller when he first came in. He was like 257, 260. But Chauncey was better. And everybody will argue with me if I say that. But when I watch the film, Chauncey is doing things I don't see Osa doing. Or when the run is running, people are running up muck on us and running crazy, I'm like, damn, when Chauncey get in there, that should stop. Why? Because he was better. Coming back from injury going to be a hard one for him. Talking about Diggs. Let me hear it get off here because I'm just going now. As I go and read these Jones, y'all saying more and more and more. I'm never going to get to the bottom. I truly like Diggs. I was one that stuck behind Diggs. Why haven't DQ picked him up yet? Because DQ, everybody know what he was doing behind the scenes. Nobody likes it. I agree. Micah should have been playing linebacker without a doubt. That's a fact. Yeah, no one would bat an eye at a wild payday producing like that. Nobody would. So Okoye, DQ defense was the reason of our loss in the playoffs. Yeah, I think DQ sabotaged us. He knew or he just didn't have the balls to tell Jerry we need linebackers. But how you don't got no linebackers on your team? What defense you ever seen good with no linebacker? I've never heard of a top defense with no linebacker. So if you want a top defense, you need linebackers. So when you start bringing guys in that was safeties, like Keanu Neal, let me know he ain't really care. But then you brought Javon Curse, J-Rock Curse was a safety, but you had him playing linebacker. You made Marquise Bell a linebacker. These dudes is 205. A small linebacker is 220. That's small. 215 is like you a tweener, right? You a safety linebacker tweener. 220, you small. 230, you small at linebacker. But a safety at 205? Are you crazy? I don't care how good Marquise Bell is. Why the hell would you have him playing linebacker? That ain't make no sense. All right, let's be honest. Look at Parsons at Penn State when he blitzed and then looked at Arvell Reese. You can say they look even remotely close. Reese isn't a pass rusher. Yeah, Reese ain't on Parsons level. Neither is Aaron Carter. They keep trying to recreate it though. But Parsons, it's only one Parsons so far. You're gonna find one now though. Later, Carson is not better than Bland. I am keeping Bland in the slot with this coaching staff defense. I believe coaching matters, which we haven't had a lot of coaching going on here for at least 15 years, probably, right? But I think Bland should be your starting outside corner. Then when we go to nickel, you move him to the slot. I don't think he should come off the field and sit on the bench. He won't come off the field and sit on the bench, should I say. It's not just because of the way he plays. It's because of what he's paid. Jerry paying Bland to be a starting corner. He's going to be a starting corner. That's it. Or he's going to be gone. Okoye, what it do, bro? I've been a follower for 4 years. I love your content. Keep rocking, bro. Thank you, man. Q Ball 307. Appreciate you. I think Bland is better on the boundary. I mean, we're going to find out. What up, Okoye? Glad you're back on the regular. You're the best film whisperer in the business. Appreciate that. And Parsons on his best day still isn't LT. Dropped in coverage, was deadly. He was a complete player. Now I ain't talking about dropped in coverage in the flat, bro. I'm talking about LT can't erase a tight end if he want to. You know what I'm saying? LT couldn't have made that Detroit play where he missed the tight end on the screen and chase him and strip him at the 1 yard line. I'm not trying to disrespect LT. Don't get me twisted. I'm talking about athletically and just overall. He touches more space in on the football. He checks more boxes, is what Micah Parsons does. LT is better at the positions he's playing. Like Micah Parsons and LT are playing outside linebacker, LT better. If he playing middle linebacker, LT better. But if you playing safety, Micah got him. If he playing nickel, Micah got him. If he's saying, hey, can you man cover? Micah got him. If he say, hey, who's going to chase this down from the perimeter? Micah got him. But anything pass rush-esque or linebacker specific, most of it, LT is better. That's what I'm saying. Boom, boom. Parsons could have been something else, but he didn't want to, and that's what will limit him. Yeah, that's a fact. Although we can still get them by trading down and pick up a second to hopefully draft Anthony Hill Jr. I do not want Anthony Hill Jr. He's too inconsistent. One day he show up, next day he don't. One day he show up, I don't want that. I want the guy, Jacob Rodriguez. He's the same every day. Anthony Hill is like the poor man's Sonny Styles. Yeah, it could be that he didn't want to study for it, got to know more ball to play linebacker. No, it's because he spent so many years as a defensive end. Once Quinn changed him to defensive end, he never went in the linebacker room. So then he became a liability when you put him at linebacker because he ain't got the reps. He don't know what linebacker's supposed to do on the NFL level because he never was in the rooms. He was in the defensive end room. He should have never been in a defensive end room. I would have kept him in the linebacker room because like he don't need to be in the defensive end room to pass rush. He know how to do that anyway. Just let him learn linebacker. I would have said you got to learn what it means to be a linebacker. Leave the defensive end shit alone. Parsons could have been better than Kuechly. He could have been 130 tackle, 10 sack, 12 tackle for loss, 4 interception, and 2 forced fumble guy. He damn sure should have. I prefer out of all these guys, it's Rodriguez. Rodriguez is the best linebacker in college right now, to me. Chat room, don't worry. Okoye will never be quiet. Appreciate you. Yeah, no problem. Dag, Sadiq, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Parsons is a history, not a mystery, and that's how it goes. I think Run DMC. I can't even say Run DMC. God damn it. I think Run DMC. Let's see. I have a random yet niche question. Do you think certain zodiac signs excel at certain sports and positions due to their temperament? You know what's crazy? I was just thinking about that, bruh. That's wild that you asked me that question. Drell, what the fuck you got my shit tapped, man? That's crazy. It's a lot of Leos in the NFL. It's a lot of and then Geminis. Like the crazy thing is, Jonathan Grenard is the guy that Parsons used to watch, and he got like a twitchy, weird ass game, right? And Parsons and Gemini, so is Jonathan Grenard. They're born like a day apart or something like that. I'm like, that was crazy. So you might have a point because I look at rappers too. Andre 3000, one of the best rappers in the game. Gemini. I think Kendrick Lamar, Gemini. You got a couple of them. There's a bunch of them. You can keep going down the list, but Geminis and air signs, Geminis and fire signs dominate music. So it's kind of weird that you say that. And then the two toughest players are some of the toughest players that I've seen that fight through injuries and so on. They got my son, born the same day as me. Emmitt Smith, Mr. Durable. He's a Taurus. You know what I'm saying? Ray Lewis. They both born on May 15th, right? I'm born on May 15th. And they will walk through anything. Like they don't get tired. I don't get tired. Obviously, I don't get tired. I'm just up here. I be doing shit all day. I've been up since 6 o'clock in the morning doing this. So this is like I'm 9 hours in, right? Today. And I ain't get up yet. You know what I'm saying? I don't get tired. Them motherfuckers don't get tired either. And they get injured, they coming right back. Cam Newton, another tour. So you might be onto something with that. I never looked at it. I'm not a super signy guy, but it is weird because when I'm looking up players, I inadvertently always see they birthdays. And I'm like, damn, that's a little interesting. That's interesting. Good point though. Gemini is definitely some creative. My mom's a Gemini. My fiance is a Gemini. My ex-wife a Gemini. So it's like I'm always around them. You know what I mean? So that's weird. Who on that defense did step up, Koye? Nobody. I would say Demo would have. I think Demo was like he just didn't know what was going on. Oh, they said that link saying it's private. Okay, that's what it is. I'll make it active for you. I'll activate it for you. Sorry about that. Let me go back over there. Sean Lee. Boom. Let me edit this. Is it? Oh, it is private. Damn, I did do that. All right, it's public now. Oh, about to be public right now. All right, it's public now. Now you can watch it. The Sean Lee video, if that's what y'all asking about, is live now. Yeah, I put it back on. Y'all can see it. What day on Clown Global Media so I can double back and check that episode out? It was yesterday. It was yesterday. I'll put that link in here too. Hold on. I'll get it for you. Clown Global. Oh, hold on. It was yesterday. I had fun on there too. I ain't even gonna lie. All right. Oh, I'm getting views too. Oh man, they're gonna have me back. Copy link address. Boom. There you go. That's the Crown Global video. Make sure if y'all haven't seen it, go out there and watch it. Good show. He's never shown flashes, never stayed consistent. Let's see where y'all at. Said Osa can't handle double team and stays on the ground. He sure do. He said, I've been saying DQ sabotage our playoff game against the Packers. I ain't never seen him call a game that dumb in my life. I'm like, what are you doing? It was one pass rusher versus 5 good pass rushers. Video posted a day ago. Yep. I don't care what none of these dudes make, fam. The market and your play dictates that. So if we got him for 20 mil and that was a steal, the motherfucker had to be good at something. Well, won't you go be a 49ers fan, bro? I'm not even trying to be smart, Dev. I know you're a Cowboy fan, but I'm like, you still arguing for somebody that's gone. Why are you so mad? I don't get it. Osa wasn't that. What did he do? I'm asking you. You keep talking about the deal. What did he do on the field that you like so much? That's what I'm trying to ask you. What was he doing that you like so much? Because I haven't seen it. So you tell me. What did you do? What did he do that got everybody so in love with him? Because they talk about the pressures. He was third in pressures. He's third in pressures. Okay. But a lot of his pressures is coming because he got somebody getting pressure next to him. That's why he's getting pressures. Pressures, that's not it to me. Like, how are you affecting the game? He wasn't. We was losing with him. Okoye, bro, I've been saying that about Quinn and McCarthy ruined the game. I was tired of those raggedy coaches after Garrett. Yeah. 20 mil for him ain't a steal. They paid him based on what they hoped he would do, and he didn't do it. Exactly. Damn, sitting here listening, just vibing out at work. I'm not mad Micah Guy's 47. I'm mad he didn't reach his full potential. Also on Osa, he could have put no trades in his contract. That's on him. Yeah, he could have did that. Mike Tyson not Aries. Mike Tyson not Cancer, ain't he? Yeezy. Oh, Yeezy a Gemini too. Ain't that crazy? He said, I'm a Taurus as well. Bull gang. See, we be behind the scenes like Al Heyman, a Taurus. Al Heyman be behind the scenes. We be behind the scenes getting money. Don't nobody even know what we doing. We like super spies and shit. People from Philly don't even know our cowboy name. My own daughter, she moved to Houston. I'm like, why you ain't tell me you was moving to Texas? I was like, I told you to go to Dallas. My stepdaughter. I'm like, yo, I'd have told you to move to Dallas. I'm known down there. She said, for real? I said, yo, pay attention. She's like, for real? Like, yo, pay attention to your pop is, man. Crazy. But they don't I'm 43, they all live alone, so they don't be watching none of this. And I don't promote it. Just like y'all don't even know my name. I don't promote nothing. I'll be behind the scenes chilling. But I'll throw fights. I'll be doing all kinds of different shit, and I'm like, I don't tell my left hand what my right hand doing for some reason. I don't tell people that's in Philly that I'm doing football content. I don't promote it. Then the people that's over here don't know that I'm a professional boxing coach and I promote fights here and shit like that. So it'd be like I don't be mixing everything for some reason. I just don't do it. But yeah, that's a tourist thing, man. All right. All right. We down at the bottom finally. God damn, it took forever to get. Shakur Stevens, when his birthday? Day before your birthday. I don't know. I didn't ask. I didn't look. I mean, let me see. I believe that Overshawn needs to be a very good linebacker. I mean, needs to be all he needs to be a very good linebacker is proper coaching since linebacker whisperer couldn't do it. Yeah, I thought that he would get better under Eberflus, but he was better under Zimmer. Zimmer had him balling. It's hard to coach these players these days. They think they know everything, and that ain't that the truth. The only reason the fighters at the gym listen to me is because I can do shit they can't do. So they be like, how do you do that? They got to ask me, or they'll spar me and be like, you never fought amateur or professional? I know. Like, how you doing that? Oh, and you old as fuck. Like, how you doing that? I'm like, all right, step out here. I'll show you. You know what I'm saying? So they'll listen once you show them something, but you don't show them nothing. They ain't listening to nothing. But all right, y'all, I'm out of here. I ain't even gonna say nothing else because I got to the bottom of these chats, and y'all been going. So I appreciate y'all jumping on without no, reminder or none of that. But I'm going. Anybody who missed the breakdown, just watch this back. You're gonna see it, and I'll be back. You already know, but I gotta go sit down. Peace.